You'll never feel the way I feel. You don't know if my love is real. Baby, listen to me, here's the deal. When you're not here, I'm not the same. I'm needing a new chapter, babe. Been stuck here in a bed for days. I've been staring at the telephone, cause when you're gone, I miss your face. Late o'clock, body talk. There's no need to bring it up. Nothing you say makes it better. Wreck and fall, tear apart. Issues left behind, restart. Nothing you say makes it better. Hey, bring it right back to me, baby. No, we've been here before. Give me the real this time, no cap, no lies. It's our encore. Bring it right back to me, baby. I know my heart wants more. Give me the good this time, no cap, no lies. It's our encore. I never wanna give you up. I know we've been through way too much, but I'm confident we'll make it through. I'm here for you, you're not by yourself. Late o'clock, body talk. There's no need to bring it up. Nothing you say makes it better. Wreck and fall, tear apart. Issues left behind, restart. Nothing you say makes it better. Bring it right back to me, baby. No, we've been here before. Give me the real this time, no cap, no lies. It's our encore. Bring it right back to me, baby. I know my heart wants more. Give me the good this time, no cap, no lies. It's our encore.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Happy Monday to you. Hopefully it's a momentous Monday. My early risers, I know you've been up early. I know I have. Good morning to you. On today, I want to talk about everything that happened at the NAACP Freedom Fund Award. You know, your boy was awarded the Inspiring Innovator Awardee. Hopefully I spelled it correctly. I'm looking at it now. Maybe perhaps I did not. But nonetheless, I want to give you all the sights and sound. Plus, we got some special guests that are scheduled to Zoom in. We might even have a political candidate or two that might Zoom into the show today. You know, the election's tomorrow. And I know after that, we'll get onto other things. But right now, we got business to attend to. All right. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. If you want to share your thoughts with me this morning, the number is the same, 513-873-7134. That has not changed. But I'm going to take you to everything that happened, take you with me through the whole journey. It was quite interesting. All right. But I need about 2 minutes before we get started. All right. And take those 2 minutes to please like and in particular share the show. Don't go anywhere. We'll get started in about 2 minutes.
NathanIvey.com. Mr. Ivy know the show must go on. And far as Cincinnati, man, I put on. Tunes made another flame beat for me to cook on. Raised dogs, close fists, yeah, too strong. Team AI, chop it up at the chop shop. Top notch with the king flow, the hot shot. Cop squats in, listen to the real. Jumping like hopscotch, nobody harder than, oh, no, think not. Not only citywide, but nationwide. Superlative, keep it locked like them Haitian guys. Put the truth in the airwaves, we talk about it. Brand new like the templates, let's be about it. Who got the info by the AM? Jono be the rapper, got them jamming when they play him. Staying in my lane, they ain't gotta okay him. Who the host with the scoop? Yeah, they gon' say him. Ivy, so superlative like a bag of Grippos. Show you where the bricks at, Cincinnati Reds at. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at. It's the 5-1-3, yeah, you know the flow. What's the word, Nate? Let them know the show. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at.
If you want to share your thoughts, you can do so at 513-873-7134. And perhaps you might have missed some of that. Let me say it all again because, I'm notorious for having a microphone on mute. But on Sunday, Straight Talk Live, I want to make sure you tap into that and you're aware. Edna had a very interesting conversation with author Holly Jenkins. She's the author of a book titled Daddy Don't, and it's all about her story of survival of incest from her father and her relationship with her parents. I thought it was super powerful, very powerful. And if you're someone who's ever had to deal with sexual assault, abuse, or incest, in particular inside the Black community, I thought it was very interesting. You'll get something out of it. Thank you so much, Daryl. I appreciate it. I thought it was very interesting. You'll get something out of it. And some things that I kind of do naturally with my own children that she brought up as things that you should do with children to make sure that they're not groomed by even family members. I thought it was very, very powerful. And perhaps we'll hear from Holly Jenkins here on the Nathan Ivey Show as well. It was just such a powerful conversation. If you're not tapped into what Edna's doing with Straight Talk Live on Sundays at 10 a.m., we stream live on Facebook. You should tap in and check it out. Make your own decision. Decide for yourself. 513-873-7134 if you want to share your thoughts. And yesterday, well, not yesterday, but on Saturday, of course, it was the 2021 NAACP Freedom Fund dinner. It was down at the Duke Energy Convention Center. And the wife and I attended along with a family friend. We all went together, sat together. We had a really good time. We had a good table. It's funny because every time we go to one of these things, we always had the best table. Our table is always the fun table. We always the livest. We always the realest. We always have the most fun. And we just kind of do our own thing. And we had a good time. We had a good table with some really special folks. And I was awarded the Inspiring Innovator Award. I want to say many thanks to the NAACP for that award and that recognition. It means a whole lot. And it was quite interesting. Like I told the wifey, nights like Saturday night, I wish you could just prolong it, because that's the kind of feeling that, you just want to prolong for as long as possible because it just feels so good, right? It feels so right. And I wish the night was like 24 hours long. But of course, everything comes to an end. But it was a good time. I mean, for us, we grown folks with kids. We got a 16-year-old and a 6-year-old. So for us to get a chance to get dressed up and get out, I mean, that's always special for us. But then because, I was being recognized, it was even more special. We had a good time. We had a good time. The food was good. They had a plant-based option, which was very tasty. I love to get that recipe. It was like cauliflower with some kind of like something over the top of it. It was great. The wifey had some kind of beef thing and it looked amazing. I'm like, damn, I want to break my discipline, but of course I did not. I keep it disciplined. Going 100% plant-based is as much an exercise of the mind as it is the body. Building discipline, right? Hold on, I'm getting a message here. Oh, thank you so much, dear. I appreciate it. It came up on my laptop before it came up on the phone. But there's the award right there. I'll bring it out. It's actually upstairs. I forgot to bring it downstairs, but it looks so dope. It's got a lot of weight to it, and you can read what it says right there. It's really, really nice. And as a part of the whole process, they have you shoot a video, right? And so before you walk up, then the video rolls and they're asking you different questions about who you are and your affiliation with the NAACP. And I'll be honest with you, my mother passed last Monday, a week ago from today. And hell, it was 2 hours from now when I got the call saying, hey, rush to the hospital. So when I did the video, I just did the video. I couldn't even remember what I actually said. I just spoke from the heart. But when I watched the video back, I was like, oh, okay, snap. I was okay, gold star for Nathan. I mean, I said exactly how I felt. So it went well. Oh, thank you so much, TNT. I appreciate it. I got it. You know me. I got to do at least one per show every day this week. So I got it in today. Hopefully no more times. But it's a very interesting feeling as you're walking in, you're seeing people and they're coming over to you and they're saying, hey, Nate, congratulations. And with a lot of folks, you can kind of pick up on their sincerity, right? You can tell that I could tell with a lot of folks when they were saying things like, well, Nate, you really deserve this long overdue. I could tell they really meant it. So that means a whole lot. It means a whole lot. And as I said in the video, and I'll say it again, I mean, you talk about the nation's oldest civil rights organization and all the work that they do in the city of Cincinnati. It's really not about me. I'm like a speck of dust in terms of what they're doing. But as I keep saying, I'm gonna keep saying this. Anybody that's down for us, I'm talking about Black people. Let me say it again because I know there was some confusion about this a couple years ago. Anybody that's down for Black people, I'm for you. Especially you for us in the Cincinnati area, I'm for you. period. I want to see you win. I want to support you. And I do that. And I didn't do it for any recognition. It was a surprise to me. I just did it because when I look around the city, I look at people that's doing things and I want to support them. Simple as that. And I'm going to keep doing it. My goal is not an award. This is nice, but that is not my goal. This is just a reminder that I'm on the right path. And this feels pretty good. I ain't going to lie to you, but this is not my goal. My goal is something else. And when I reach my goal, then you'll know. I'll let you know. But we are. I'm 100% committed. 100% committed. We are not stopping. This is just for me. Is not really pressure because I'm internally motivated. I'm not externally motivated. Some people like need other people to do that, and that feels great. But the fire that burns in me is what befuels me. It's always been that way. How I see myself, what my goal is, where I'm trying to get to, that's enough fuel. That's enough fuel, trust me. You know what I'm saying? Nobody in the world could ever beat me up more than I beat myself up. And nobody could put more pressure on me than I put on myself. That's 100% true, without a doubt. But again, it felt good though. It feels great to be acknowledged by people that you respect, and it feels great to get recognition for the work that you do. And I just do it. I don't even really think about it. It's just what I do, and I'm gonna keep doing it. As I said before, we ain't going nowhere. We are just getting started. And I gotta thank the choppers because when I kicked off this show many years ago, you never know how these things are going to go. You don't know whether people are going to tap in. You don't know whether people are going to buy in. But the choppers was supporting me. That was way before we called it the choppers. I had an audience and folks that supported me. I had sponsors. You know what I'm saying? I was in a unique situation. A lot of people kick off podcasts. I don't have no sponsors, but I was in a unique situation. And then rather than allow it to pass, I jumped on it. Let's do it with two hands. Let's see where it goes. And that was 4 years ago. And now we still doing it. So, you know, again, many thanks to the choppers, to my patrons, to my sponsors. Still having sponsors and people that use this platform to connect with. Um, uh, well, right now, connecting with voters or whether it be customers. So all of that stuff helps. Nobody does anything by themselves. Nobody does anything by themselves. All the great creative people that I work with that do talk shows, nobody does anything by themselves. I'm no different. So I want to thank everybody that works with me, that supports me on the real shit. Now, the people that be on that fugazi stuff, I mean, keep doing you, boo. And we're going to keep doing us. Keep doing you. But I'm 100%, 1000%. I'm even as if I could be more focused, but I'm even more focused. I'm even more convinced. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens from here. 513-873-7134. So, like I said, they run a video and then they announce your name. Matter of fact, I'll post a video for you. You can check it. As a matter of fact, it's already posted on my Facebook page. If you're into that kind of stuff, you can check it out. And then they say your name and you just hear like applause and like this thunderous rush from the crowd. And you go walking up there. And as I'm walking up there, I'm telling myself, I want to walk slow. I want to walk real slow. I'm not sure how slow I actually walk because your adrenaline kicks in, but I just wanted to walk real slow. And in my head, I took my time with it and I looked around the crowd. I can still remember what that looked like. And I tried to make eye contact with as many people as I could. Some people I knew, some people I didn't recognize. And I just wanted to just be in that feeling because those feelings, those moods, and those moments are fleeting, right? That don't last long. You walk up there and back, it's about 45 seconds. Man, I want to stretch that shit out. I want to feel like that for a long time. You walk up there, and I think I two-stepped it. I think it was like 4 steps to hit the podium. Boom, I hit 2 at a time. I get on the podium. You got Vanessa White, who was sort of like, I won't say master of ceremonies, but she was announcing the awardees. You got Joe up there, who's the president of Cincinnati NAACP. He was actually giving everybody the awards. And he shook my hand. He said great things to me. Congratulations. I know he's a big supporter. I support them as well. And then you stand for a few photographs, and it's just, you're like blinded. I don't know how Joe was up there. It's just so many lights. You just blinded. I couldn't make out too many faces at that point, but I could see a little bit. And then you walk back. I think I raised it up a little bit, and was definitely showing some teeth with the smiles. and it was just enjoying it. I wanted to walk back slow. Right, and just remember that moment. And then as I'm walking back, because we were on the far left end, if you're standing on side of the if you're standing on the stage, we were seated to the far left of the stage. And as I got closer to it, I could actually see my table, because from the stage you couldn't see the table. So many lights. And I realized the wifey wasn't there. I started looking around like, where? And she had walked over to get a better vantage point right in front of the podium, which is great. Timeless memories and moments and videos. I walked back over there, and I'm with the wifey, and she's very proud of me and very happy for me. And like I said, the love of an intelligent black woman, you can't go wrong. And we had a family friend there. They were very happy. People were saying a lot of good things. And then you sit down and you put the award on the table there, and you're like, wow, got a lot of weight to it. Shout out to Real Show Graphics, and also for Sister Iris, because she said a lot of nice words and brought me some things as well. That was very nice. And so I'm just sitting there, and I'm just, very grateful, and very. It was a good moment. I'm already happy. So the award doesn't make me happy. I'm already happy. Like I told you, Nate is good. I keep telling people that I'm Gucci. No one man should have all this fun. Believe me when I tell you that. I am in a real good place, with or without an award. But again, to get that recognition, then as you're walking out, a lot of people coming over and you're taking pictures and people saying great things about the show and the platform and the possibilities of the future. It means a whole lot. And I just want to sit with it. You know what I'm saying? The wife is like, you ready to go? I was like, nope. No, I want to talk to everybody. I want to see everybody. I want everybody to see me. But we had a good time. And then after that, we came home and fell asleep. That's it. After that, we came home and was out. That was it. We didn't do anything. It had been a very long day. It had been a very long week for me, again, with the passing of my mother. And we was out. We was out like a light. I don't think I meant to get a workout in. I was telling myself as I was leaving, let me get a workout in, a little late night workout, but I did not. I woke up the next morning and got it in real early. And that was that. I don't know. I think I left it upstairs. So I'll bring it downstairs before the show and put it on the camera. I want everybody to see it. But then Cedric Denson came over, State Rep Cedric Denson, and he gave your boy this. Check this out. Isn't that dope? Yeah, y'all see that? Uh-huh. It is a recognition from probably the the House of Representatives in the state of Ohio, for the work, for number one, receiving the Inspiring Innovator Award, but also the work, that your boy is doing and that we will continue to do in our community. So that's super dope right there. Wasn't expecting that. Yeah. Take it all in. Yes, yes. Make sure you share this. I want everybody to see this. Yes, yes, that is super dope. So we'll frame that, put that on the wall, maybe somewhere behind me or somewhere here in my studio. So we can, you got to have an ego wall, right? Got to have an ego wall. So it means a lot. And I appreciate everybody involved. And again, like, it's just confirmation. We're not going anywhere. This is exactly where I should be. It's exactly what I should be doing. It's exactly what we should be doing. I'm going to continue to amplify Black and brown voices. And I'm going to work with the folks that want to work with me. Simple as that. We ain't going nowhere. And then for my patrons, I'm doing exactly what I told you I was going to do. To the choppers, I'm doing exactly what I told you I was going to do. I'm a man of my word. And so, as I told the wifey, I mean, it's important in the sense that maybe it shows you that your boy is 100% serious about what I say. I'm not just talking ish. I never do that. I might stir the pot, but everything I say, I 100% mean. And I'll say it again. We are just getting started. We ain't going nowhere. We're just getting better and stronger and growing every single day. And if you like to be a part of it on some levels, hit me with a direct message. Perhaps we can work together. I'm always open. Let's do it. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134 if you'd like to share your thoughts this morning. Yeah, yes. Everybody should have that kind of feeling at some point in their life. And I'm just going to tap into, I'm going to use it as motivation. It's not pressure. It's just motivation, right? It's motivation. I said again, not pressure. I was talking to somebody. She was like, yeah, I can see it being pressure. It's not pressure. It's motivation. It's like, yeah, I can do this. We're doing this. We're going to do this 100%. So again, shout out to the choppers, man. Shout out to the choppers. This is the chopper. I talk to people all the time, and you know what they mention? The choppers. They mention you. They mention the audience. When guests come on, they mention the audience. They mention you. They say the choppers. The word is spreading about what we have built. Others will follow. Others will follow, because whenever you put out a flag and you put out a good example, people be like, yeah, I can do that too. Great. But we are first. We are the pioneer. I keep telling you that. We are the pioneers in Cincinnati in the Black digital landscape. We are, right? For whatever that means. We did this together. Not just me. I'm the host. But without the audience, what difference does it make? We did this together. You and I did this day to day, flow to flow, top to topic, guest to guest, in the spring, in the fall, when it's raining, internet problems. I mean, look at how much the show has progressed over the last couple of years. Look at how far we've come. We went from an audio platform to now on video, and people admire what we are doing. Some admit it, some try to act like they don't, but everybody can see it for itself. We were the pioneers. We were first. We are the first daily digital talk show based in Cincinnati that focuses on Black people, Black politics, and Black pleasure. Now, I already know there'll be others, but we were first. And don't let nobody ever forget that shit, ever. We did this. We did this together. Don't let nobody try to play games or act like this. Don't check their ass. Check them. We let them know we did this together. You and I did this every single day. Phone call to phone call, guest to guest, topic to topic, every single morning. You understand what kind of dedication that takes? That's a supreme dedication. And we did that together. Every time you share this show, you're a part of the show. To all my patrons, you're a part of this show. You're a part of this. When I was up on stage, you were on stage right next to me. And we had choppers in the house. Kathy was in the house. Charles was in the house. Appreciate Charles. And I'm sure there were others, but I didn't see anybody else, but I definitely saw them. And I want to make sure I acknowledge them. We did this. We are doing this. We, not just me, we are doing this every single day. And I keep telling you, when I talk to people and they mention the show, they always mention the choppers. The choppers have gotten a reputation here in Cincinnati. And people are sitting back like, believe that. Believe that. Now, the real ones would admit it, right? The Fugazi ones, they'll never admit it. They can't do it. But we did this. We are the pioneers of this in the city of Cincinnati. Now, what people are doing in other cities, I have no idea. I don't give a damn. And I really don't care what anybody's doing inside the city other than us. But I have to make sure that once we plant our flag, that we don't let nobody come over here and try to kick it over or diminish us or try to play us. We ain't going for it. We ain't going for it. We have had an impact here locally. I've been told that by elected officials. They've called into this show. We're just doing a daily talk show. Just a little podcast. That's it. But it just goes to show you on a small level what can happen when you got discipline, you got consistency, and you got unity. People come together behind something. So I just want to make sure we say that, you know what I'm saying? Because I already know. And, opportunities like this are very, very interesting because in my observation, you could tell a lot about the people around you when one or two things happen. You could tell a lot about people around you. Check this out. That is so dope. That is so dope. I'm gonna put this right behind me right now. Look at that. Read it. It's real and it's heavy too. I like it. Where should we put this? I'll put it right here. You see that? Oh yeah. Let's pull it over just a little bit. Put it right there. Yeah. That's a good spot for it. Good morning, son.
Good morning.
Come on over here. The camera's right there. Let me see that. Oh man, Spider-Man. You did this?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's for Miss Armbruster.
It's meant for Miss Armbruster. Okay.
It has my name on it.
It does. Okay. You gonna give it to her today? Come on. I'm gonna get no hug or nothing. Okay. Okay. I love you. I love you. You smell good. You smell like coconuts. She said she put moisturizer in my head. Smell good. We'll put it right here. Yeah, that's a good spot for it. Mm-hmm. Yes. That is nice right there. Yep. We'll put it right next to the YMCA Achievers Award. Yeah, we got that 10 years ago. We're not new to this. Put them both right next to each other. And we're gonna put a YouTube banner or award up over there real soon too. Keep watching. All right, 513-873-7134 if you'd like to share your thoughts. But what I was about to say is you can tell a lot about the people around you when one or two things happen to you in your life. And I've experienced both sides of it on some levels. One is when you have a big perceived setback, right? Like when you have something happens to you in your life that people perceive as a setback. And I say people perceive because it's all about how you take things. It ain't about what people's perception is. So I have to preface it that way. Just because somebody perceives something a certain way don't mean it's true, right? And you can tell a lot about people when you have a perceived setback. Tell a lot about your friends and your so-called supporters. You can tell a lot. And you can also tell a lot about the people when you have like something good happens for you. Like when you step up or when good things happen for you, you could tell a lot about the people around you. You could tell a lot about it if you know what to look for. All you got to do is sit back and be quiet. Just watch. And I'm very good at that. I'm very good at that. So there it is. 513-873-7134. Hope you're having a great morning. As you can tell, my morning is Gucci, but my morning will be Gucci no matter what. I'm high on life. It's great to be here. Y'all already know. 2020 February, your boy was almost out of here. So it's great to be alive. Good morning, everybody. Sandra was there. Hey, Sandra. And she was recognized as well. Absolutely. Congratulations to you as well, Sandra. I really enjoyed, seeing her. And again, I'm not going to get no details, man, but I'll say it again. You have no idea the amount of support that I've received over the years from folks who never ask for nothing. They just want to do it because they support your boy, and they just do it. You know what I'm saying? Including Sandra. So when I heard that she was being recognized, what I will say is this, and this was something that Christy Coons, who was acknowledged with the President's Award, and I'm not super close with Christy, but I do know her. And from what I know about her, well deserved from what she's doing in the community and continues to do. I like Christy and her husband and a beautiful family. And for me, when I was sitting there, I was like, well, damn, I'm up here with some dogs. I'm out here with some real folks out here, man. Some people that's really have, got some deep roots and done some really good things in our community and continue to do so. So in that way, it was also a privilege to even be acknowledged with people like Sandra and Christy and other folks as well. I mean, even to be in the same breath, I'm like, wow, I ain't worthy of that. You know what I'm saying? This is super dope. But she was there. It was great to see her. It was great to watch her video. I know her story from afar. And what she's built with SoAct most definitely has to be commended. Most definitely. The keynote was delivered by Dr. Odell Owens, and he is a powerful orator. It's so ironic because when I graduated, he was the keynote. He was the keynote. And so it's kind of like this, I don't know, this 360, almost like it wasn't deja vu, but I remember the first time I ever heard him speak was when I graduated. Y'all already know I graduated from Peter H. Clark Academy. It was a second chance school. You know what I'm saying? It was a school for people that still wanted to get a diploma, but for whatever reason had some academic issues, or it was really like most of the girls, if not all of the young ladies that were in the school had children. And in the process of giving birth, they had missed so much time in school that they were behind, but they still wanted to get a diploma and not a GED. My story was when I was in the 11th grade, I just stopped going to school because of a lot of different stuff, social pressure or just feeling not supported by the administration and the teachers. I said, man, I ain't got time for this. I stopped going. So I just wrecked my ability to graduate on time. So I would have been a year and a half, 2 years older, and maybe feeling feeling uncomfortable, right? So my mother heard about this program called Peter H. Clark Academy. The principal was Shelley Hamler, black female, and it was down on Eastern Avenue. It's now they tore that down a long time ago. Now they got like shit, I don't know, $1 million homes down there right on the river, prime real estate. And most of the dudes had some kind of a record. There was a lot of dudes, a lot of dope boys down there that had like records in and out of the JC and all this kind of stuff. And then I was down there, right? And then me. My story wasn't either one of those, right? But I remember that the graduation ceremony was at the School for Creative and Performing Arts. And I spent a few years there as well. And that's when I first heard Dr. Odell Owens. You're going back a long time ago, 20 plus years, right? And it was just powerful. I can't remember what he said, but I remember sitting there like, wow, this guy is super ill. He is super ill. I might have said that's fresh. That might have been the nomenclature of the day. I don't really know. But full circle, boom, here I'm at the NAACP getting the Inspiring Innovator Award for 2021. And Dr. Odell Owens is the keynote. And he said at the very beginning he was going to step on some toes. And me, I would have stepped on some toes a little harder. And I guess that's the difference between the two of us. Sometimes you got to bring finesse. I can be like a bull in a china shop sometimes. And but it was great though. The only issue I would say is I disagreed. I understood his premise, but I disagree what he was saying. He was making this point. He was like, where's Black Lives Matter? And he was talking about the health disparities and things like that. And it almost seemed as if he was putting at the doorstep of Black Lives Matter, like almost as if he was faulting the narrow focus of Black Lives Matter, as if Black Lives Matter is only focused on police shootings and things like that when it relates to Black people or typically Black people. And he's kind of like, well, what about, the shootings in the community, that's happening amongst, people of the same color? And he kept going back and pivoting. Where's my Black Lives Matter? And I thought it was a bit unfair. I must say that. If I ever get a chance to talk with Dr. Odell Owens, I will bring this up to him. I thought it was a bit unfair. It was a great speech. I get it. But I thought it was unfair because that's like saying, I linked over to the wifey and I'm like, I think that's unfair because, that's unfair to put that on Black Lives Matter. The organizers of Black Lives Matter created their organization to do what they wanted to do. If you don't think that Black Lives Matter has a big enough focus, then go create your own organization and do it. Don't tell them what they should be doing. And I leaned over to the wife and I was like, well, because we're very close to the founder of the Erica J. Holloman Foundation. Of course, they advocate for triple negative breast cancer. And oh, by the way, in the last week or so, there's been some amazing medical advances and perhaps it could be a vaccine. This would be groundbreaking and a win for the Erica J. Holloman Foundation and all the people across the nation that have been pushing for this. And Dr. Odell Owens spoke about that on Saturday. That'd be a big win. You know what I'm saying? But that would be like turning to the Erica J. Holloman Foundation saying, well, why don't you focus on pancreatic cancer? Why don't you focus on rectal cancer? Why don't you That's not what they do. Rather than criticizing Black Lives Matter because they got a narrow focus, then just go create your own organization and focus that on whatever you want to focus on. I thought that was unfair. You know what I'm saying? That was just me. As I was sitting there, I was like, I hear you, Doc, but no. Other than that, it was all good. I agree with everything he was saying. But that point right there, that's not Black Lives Matter to pivot, and to change because somebody says that their mission is too narrow. That's on you to say, you know what? We need an organization that's going to deal with these other issues. Then go create it. Go create it. Go do it. People are doing it. I just thought that was unfair. But that's just a minor point. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. Daryl is in the house. He writes, good morning, Nathan Choppers. Good morning to you. What's up, Daryl? Maurice writes, congratulations on your awards. Thank you so much. Just really one award and then a recognition from the state provided by Cedric Denson. I appreciate that. He was the energy behind that. I appreciate that, Cedric, if you're listening. Derek writes, can't trust those Bengals. Oh, Dad, just when you thought, don't. But what I would say is I don't have any expectations for the Bengals. Sidebar real quick. We'll talk a little sports. I don't have any expectations for the Bengals. Have I been watching the games? Yes, I have been watching the games more. Why? Because I don't see the same old Rudy Tooty team that's going to lose. They got rid of the red rifle or the red popsicle or the red lipstick, whatever the hell he called himself. They got rid of him, right? So when I watch it, I feel like there is a hope that they can win each and every game they're in. But that's the NFL, man. It doesn't matter about your record. The record don't matter. They're all top flight athletes. Everybody's trying to win. All the coaches want to keep their job. Don't look at that record. And the Jets caught them. Simple as that. Play better next time, Bengals. If the Bengals are the team that everybody wants them to be, they'll take this loss yesterday, they'll lick their wounds, they'll learn from it, and they'll get better, and they'll come back on Sunday, and they'll spank the Browns. That's it. That's all they can do. That game is over with. Just learn from it, because what you got to remember, that's still a young team. But hell, I fell asleep on it. I was like, oh, shit, they up by 11. 4 minutes ago, I fell asleep, woke up. What happened? They had lost. But it happens. Doesn't mean they can't still have a good record. Doesn't mean they won't go to the playoffs. But what I would say is that's just sports entertainment. So it's going to be up and down. Just enjoy it, Bengal fan. Enjoy it. Enjoy the wins. If you truly love football, enjoy the losses because it's an experience. And just have some fun with it. Maurice writes, glorious resurrection to all. Good morning to you. Maurice writes, is anyone familiar with the Diamond Planet? No, never heard of it. Anthony writes, morning, chomps. Good morning to you. Brian writes, good morning. Brandy writes, greetings. Maurice writes, heard last week Chris Brown was in rehab for mental illnesses. Really? Didn't hear that. Anthony writes, congrats, Nate. Let me sidebar because this is one of the most important issues. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it, just a couple of minutes. I just want to put a little something in your brain, and I'm going to move on because I know this is a boring topic, and I don't have a guest to speak on it right now. I'm working on that because I think this is one of the biggest issues facing all of human beings on the planet Earth, and that's climate change. And that's what the president is doing right now. I've been reading some of the news reports coming about it or whatever, and it doesn't look as if there's a lot of hope or expectation that anything substantial is going to come out of it. And we are going to cook our goose, literally. The most precious resource we have is black people, white people, all the people, human beings, is the ground we stand on, Mother Earth. And we are blowing our own deal, caught up with money, talking about what costs, what makes money, what saves money. Money doesn't matter if you don't have a planet. Climate change is real. What kind of planet are we leaving for our children? My son is 6. What kind of planet are we leaving for them? I know this is boring. I just want to say that right now, but that's what the president's dealing with right now. And it's not looking like it's going to be too good. If we don't, and then what neighborhoods do you think are going to be hit first when it comes to climate change? That's going to be the black and brown neighborhoods. It's going to be them economically challenged neighborhoods where your mom and them live and your cousin and them live and your family live and your friends live. Telling you, this should be a major issue for black voters on a national level, state level, and local level. Should be a major issue. I'm not going to bore you to death with it because I know it's a boring topic. It's like climate change. But all I'm saying is human beings have a tendency to wait too late. That's all I'm saying. Maurice writes, happy Aboriginal Indigenous American Indians Month. Is that right? I might reach out. I've got a few contacts in that world to see if we can have them come on and talk about what's new, what's going on. Got to be connected with our brothers and sisters. Ashley writes, good morning, Nathan and Choppers. Happy Monday. Congrats again, Nathan. Thank you so much. But, it's a win for us. It's a win for us. That's a 100% how I look at it. I swear to you. That's a win for us. This show has legs because of you. Because of you. It's not just because of me. I'm the captain, right? But it's because of you. And when I'm out and I'm talking with people, they always bring up the choppers. They always bring it up. We are building a reputation for ourselves. This is the best audience in the greater Cincinnati area, bar none, period, across the board. It ain't even close. There are other talk show hosts looking at us like, damn, I want that. I want choppers. Believe me, they may not admit it, or they might admit it now like, yeah, that'll make me look good if I admit it. I don't know. But trust me when I tell you that. Trust me when I tell you that. We are building something. We have already built something special, and we continue to build upon that every single day. Sean writes, good morning and congratulations, King Nate. Good morning to the mighty choppers. Good morning to you, brother. Appreciate you. Almost the top of the hour now. I've got Kevin Aldridge coming in. And Kevin Aldridge is doing something really special, man. This is so dope. You know, he's one of the owners. He's part of the ownership group of the Ohio Kings, where the Ohio Kings are coming back. They got a brand new season. And I don't think they played last year because of COVID. They're coming back now. And Kevin's going to come on and talk about the dates and everything that's new and then how you can participate. If you've never gone to an Ohio Kings game, I'm not sure if they changed the venue, but they were playing over at Cincinnati State on their auditorium. Great venue, good time if you like basketball. It's Black owned. We love that. We love that. It's Black owned. It's locally Black owned. It ain't owned by some Black folks 1,000 miles away. They right here, right? And doing something really special. So he's going to come on today via Zoom and talk about that. And I don't know, he might just want to keep that hat on. I don't know if he might want to give any thoughts about politics because, you know, he is the opinion editor with the Cincinnati Enquirer. So looking forward to that. Let me see. Al Catone writes, what's up, brother? Congratulations, my brother. Good morning to you. You was really making history. Keep doing you one-on-one with Al Catone. Antonio Wright. Absolutely. Yeah, we are making history. We are doing this together. It's not just me. Cass is in the house. She writes, good morning, choppers. Congratulations, Nate. Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate that. Charles writes, congratulations, brother. Gladys writes, good morning, Nate and choppers. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Tiffany writes, congratulations and good morning. Thank you so much. Krutha's in the house. She writes, good morning, choppers. Steelers. Did the Steelers just lose or did they win? Did they beat the Browns? No, they beat the Browns. They did. They beat the Browns. Brenda writes, happy Monday. Congrats, Nate. Thank you so much. Nat writes, good Monday, choppers, and congrats on the honor, Nate. Thank you so much. Pat writes, good morning. Elaine is clapping. Good morning to you, Elaine. Thank you. Nakia writes, good morning, everyone, and congrats, Nathan Ivey. Joe, I met Joe. Joe was there. Joe was there as well. I met Joe last on Saturday. It was great to see Joe. Yeah, it was great to see you, Joe. Thank you for being here, man. Appreciate the kind words. He writes, Grand Risings, Nate and Choppers. Like I said, I posted this. Choppers are in the building. Choppers was in the building. Choppers in the building. I appreciate it. And next year, I'm going to make sure that we bring Choppers to the building because we're going to get our own table. I'm saying it right here, right now. We're going to get our own table and make sure we bring Choppers with us because it's an experience. I mean, it's a who's who of Cincinnati in the room. Not just Black Cincinnati. It's a who's who of Cincinnati in the room. And I want you to be there with us next year. Okay. Unless something happens that I can't see, that's what the plan is. TNT writes, good morning, Inspiring Innovator. Congrats to you and Sin Digital Media. Thank you so much, TNT. I can't say enough thanks to you. Thank you so much. Susan writes, love it. Yeah, I was muted for a minute. Sorry about that. Marisha was in the house. She was in the house as well. She writes, good morning. It was good to see you, Marisha. Yep, good to see you. Now, Choppers was in the house, and I could hear it. But you know what? When you're walking up like that, you got your heart is pumping, your adrenaline is going, and you don't want to trip and fall, right? I wasn't thinking don't trip and fall, but I don't want to trip and fall. And you know, I want to have a little swagger about myself when I'm walking up there. But again, I just wanted to walk slow. I just wanted to walk slow and just hear the applause. And as I close my eyes, I can still remember what that felt like, and I could hear it. And then when I opened my eyes, it was so many flashes. As you're like you're blinded for a bit. But I could hear people saying things. I could hear Brother Powell. I could hear certain voices. And it felt good. I want more of that. I love those kind of feelings. Fame writes, congrats from the alt middle, Nathan. There is no more alt middle. Y'all broke up. But thank you so much, brother. Appreciate it. Dale writes, smell the roses, Nate. Oh, absolutely. You already know. Y'all gonna get sick of me. Probably not. But y'all gonna get sick. I'm gonna leave that right there. I mean, that's where it would be anyway. I'm gonna leave it right there, so everybody can see it. Like, what is that? Then maybe you can screenshot it and blow it up and see exactly what it is. How'd I do that? Magic. Pamela writes, good morning. TNT writes, Rose Show Awards, excellent job. Oh, absolutely. I don't know if all the awards were the same, but from what I could see from afar, it would have been nice to get a shot with all of the awardees. Damn. And just, everybody showing it. And then the President Award was like huge and just very well deserving. Very happy for Christy and her recognition. And I thought what she had to say was very heartfelt. You could tell she had a real connection with Joe and was very humble about it. And I know a few of the people that were awarded, all good people. Like I said, I mean, that was the other special part about it, was not just the award, but the other people that were getting awards. And you're like, damn, these are some people that's out here really seriously, in the community doing some really good stuff. So very, very humbling. I'm feeling like I don't belong. I didn't feel like imposter syndrome, but I'm like, damn, me? But it is what it is. Pat writes, the video made me cry. I was so happy for you, nephew. Thank you so much, Pat. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Deborah writes, condolences to you and your family. Thank you so much. It was a week ago today that my mother passed. Very difficult. I had some very emotional moments this morning. Just kind of thinking about her and my grandparents and hoping that they're all together right now. And, good thoughts. Hopefully good thoughts. Deborah writes, good morning, Choppers. Vote tomorrow. Well, that gives us a great segue, but first I got to go inside the chop shop. Ray writes, good risings all. Congrats. You do a great job. Thank you so much. Sharp writes, good morning, Nathan the Choppers. Welcome to the first day of November. That's right. And CG Dub writes, good morning. That's Chocolate Girl Wonder. She writes, good morning all. That's got to be the name of a superhero or something like that. It's got to be something like that. I see we got Kevin Aldridge backstage. What's up with you, brother? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Can you hear me, Kevin? Yeah, he can hear me. Okay. But Kev, sit tight, man. I need about 4 minutes. I got to take a quick break, and we'll come right back. And I see Kevin Aldridge is backstage and looking forward to his conversation, all right? Don't forget that you can early vote. And today is the last day for early voting. Tomorrow's the election. So now we're going to get to it, right? Damn, it's been a long election season. Seems like it's been since last year, and it has, especially with the primary and everything. You have people that announced last year. So it all comes to an end tomorrow. And I am free, so I'm going to be circulating to all the winners' parties. If you're losing, no disrespect to you because you're really a winner. But I'm talking about you didn't really, accomplish the goal, which is to get elected. I'm not coming to your party because I don't want to see the sad faces, okay? It's nothing personal. I'm going to all the winter parties, and I'm going to revel with the winners, and I'll be your eyes and ears, okay? But there are some folks that are using this platform. They want to get in front of you, and they want to convince you to perhaps think about them with your vote. So give them your ear. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. This is the Nathan Ivey Show. I'm live, I'm local, and I'm vocal.
Good morning, Choppers. I'm Scotty Johnson, candidate for Cincinnati City Council. Unfortunately, injustice remains in the city of Cincinnati. A remedy for injustice is courageous, bold leadership. I plan on bringing that type of leadership to City Hall. It's time to stop talking about it and to start doing something about it. Disparities have been in Cincinnati far too long. I'm the candidate to address those disparities. Vote Scotty Johnson for Cincinnati City Council.
Paid for by friends of Scotty Johnson.
I'm former Mayor Dwight Tillery asking you to vote for my friend, Michelle Dillingham, who is a Democrat running for Cincinnati City Council. The black population in our city has declined, pushing black homeowners out while speculators purchase their houses for pennies on the dollar. Black people are being foreclosed on because of rigged housing and economic systems.
Michelle Dillingham will fight for you. This is Victoria Strawn. You know me, Sister V. City Council prefers investing in a soccer stadium and gentrifying our historic neighborhoods. Malcolm X said that if you don't own land, you're nothing but a squatter.
Come on, Michelle, talk to the people.
City Council is being sued for discriminatory tax abatement programs that unfairly enrich wealthy white neighborhoods. I know because I've been fighting for reform for years. Isn't it time to elect a candidate who will stand up for the people over special interests? Vote for me, Michelle Dillingham, Democrat for Cincinnati City Council.
Paid for by Dillingham for Council Committee. Cincinnati has challenging days ahead, but we've got Councilman Steve Gooden in our corner. An expert litigator, legislator, and all-around problem solver, Gooden honed his courtroom skill as an Army JAG officer, then came home to advocate for us.
We have a city that is in crisis. Our city is facing monstrous challenges in terms of its economic recovery and in terms of its financial stability. I'm running for city council because I care about the city that we're leaving behind for my 3 children.
Steve Gooden worked shoulder to shoulder with labor unions to save our city from bankruptcy, rescued Cincy's biggest residential development from overzealous activists, and is introducing campaign finance and lobbying reforms to fight corruption in City Hall.
We have to put our house in order in terms of ethics. We've had 3 city council members who have been arrested and charged with felonies in federal court in the last year alone. There is systemic corruption that has to be rooted out and addressed, and I have a very detailed plan to do so.
Steve Gooden always stands with us and always gets results. That's why we can trust Gooden to help Cincinnati small businesses cut red tape and create thousands of union jobs in our city. For the challenges ahead and the bright future beyond, choose the leader who always advocates for us.
I'm Steve Gooden, and I'm asking for your vote.
This is former Mayor Dwight Tillery, and I'm asking you to vote for Attorney Elizabeth Tye for municipal judge.
At a time like this,
we need Attorney Elizabeth Tye on the bench so that justice can roll down like a mighty stream.
At a time like this,
I'm licensed in Ohio, the federal courts, including the United States Supreme Court, and I know who will make a good judge like Attorney Elizabeth Tye.
At a time like this,
I've known Attorney Elizabeth Tye all of her life, and she believes in equal justice and will make sure those in her courtroom will get a fair trial.
At a time like this,
Attorney Elizabeth Tye is a woman of great integrity, courage, and experience who has built a great law practice. She will be accountable to the people and not go along just to get along.
At a time like this,
I'm Attorney Elizabeth Tye, and I'm asking for your vote for municipal court judge on November 2nd.
Paid for by the committee to elect Democrat Elizabeth Tye for municipal judge.
This is County Commissioner Alicia Reese, and I'm supporting Reggie Harris for Cincinnati City Council. Not only did Reggie support me in my tough election last year, but we walked the streets of Cincinnati together to deliver food and help citizens in this pandemic. Reggie Harris knows what it means to help people in these tough times, and as a former vice mayor, I know how important it is to have good leaders at City Hall. That's why I'm asking you to join with me in voting for Reggie Harris for City Council.
Paid for by friends of Reggie Harris.
All right, quick break. It's a necessary part of what we're doing right now, family. I know everywhere you turn on radio and television, you're inundated with ads. This platform is no different. So I appreciate you sticking through that. I know podcasting and live stream words a little bit different in some ways, and in some ways it is very similar. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Welcome back. So we got Kevin Aldridge backstage. Let me bring Kevin on. Hey, good morning, Kevin.
Hey, good morning, Nathan. How you doing?
Good to see you, brother. I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Doing well.
Congratulations, man, on the NAACP award this weekend, man. You and your wife look like the epitome of Black excellence and elegance this past weekend, and just so proud of you, man. And I just hope that, you know, God continues to bring you all of the recognition and success that you deserve, because you definitely are an inspiration, whether you realize it or not, to a lot of us who are out here on the grind trying to make things happen.
I appreciate it. Same to you, brother, with what you're doing, what we're going to talk about today. But I appreciate that. I know you mean it. Thank you so much for your time. I see you got the Bengals up there, man. I mean, damn. Is it a Monday, man? I mean, what's going on?
Man, it was not a good afternoon for me yesterday, man. I'm really just coming out of the tank. I don't think I've spoken for probably about the last 10 hours, man. That hurt yesterday. That was just I had already checked that one down, took the Bengals in my little survivor pool. It was horrible yesterday, man. I'm hurt.
I don't mean to revel in your pain, man. But, you know, I will say this. I plugged out of the Bengals because I had no confidence, and I didn't want to waste my time with it. And I've been telling everybody, I see a different energy out there on offense and defense. I see something different, and I think it's they building something down there. And, you know, for me, I just take it as entertainment. I don't really have any expectations, but I know you hardcore Bengal fans, man. I'm rooting for y'all. I know I got so many people, friends and family members that's really, really invested. I want them to win for you, man. So do you tailgate real quick? Do you tailgate?
When I go to the games, I don't get to go as many games as I would like to, obviously, because I also pastor a church, so I'm in church a lot of Sundays. But every now and again, when I get a Sunday off and they have a home game, I definitely try to get down, or a Thursday or Monday night game, I'll try to get down to that. And I like to take in the whole experience, man. Especially when they're winning. This has been a surprise. I think surprisingly good start. Yesterday put aside, and I agree with you. I think they're building something. I think Joe Burrow is the real deal. Obviously, Jamar Chase is the real deal. So I do think better days are ahead. Yesterday was just a really bad one.
I know that hurt, bro. I fell asleep like, oh, they got this, the Jets, but it's the NFL, man. It's the NFL. They all superb athletes. Everybody trying to keep that contract. So
it hurt when it hurts when a guy who was selling insurance come out and throw for 405 yards on you. I don't know if he was really selling insurance, but the bottom line is, dude had never started a game before yesterday, and the Bengals D made him look like Joe Namath. I was a little upset about that.
Yeah. White is his last name? Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know. Okay. Yeah. Well, okay, enough of that, brother. I just see the Bengals back there, and I know it's tough. But I want to talk about the Ohio Kings, man. This is just so exciting. And you guys are coming back for a brand new season, right? Now, am I wrong about this? But you didn't have the season last year because of COVID. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. The league we play in, the American Basketball Association, and that's just like the old ABA, the red, white, and blue basketball from back in the day. They revitalized back in the late 90s, and that's the league we play in. They gave teams an option last year to play. So the ABA did have a season last year, but they gave teams the option whether to play or opt out. It did make business sense for us because we weren't going to be allowed to have fans in the stands because of, state regulations and other things. People were, very concerned about COVID, particularly our fan base, which is largely African-American, and some of our fan base is in that area of risk. And so we didn't want to put our players, we didn't want to put our staff, we didn't want to put our fans in any kind of position where they would be risking their health to come out and watch us play. And it just didn't make good business sense for us. So we opted out last year and took that time to really get back in the lab, start to think about, okay, when the pandemic kind of subsides, when we can get back to business, how can we come back and improve the product? Because that's what we spend a lot of time thinking about, is how can we improve the product, the fan experience, better our team. So that's really what we spent the last year doing, was working on coming back for this year. And so we think we made the right decision, clearly.
I just feel like this is just such a cool idea, man. I mean, for people that like basketball, this has got to be a lot of fun for you, because, this is such a part of it that you've got these video games, right? Like NBA 2K. And as a part of the game, you can be a fantasy owner and make all the decisions about personnel and build. That's like all a part of it, man. What is that like for you as part of ownership to make those kind of decisions? Are you having fun with it?
Nathan, I'm having probably the most fun that I've had in life doing this right now. You're right. It's a dream. It's a dream thing to assemble a team, to put together the business, and to see the fans actually come out and support it. I said in the first year, the most surreal thing for me was to actually see not just fans in the building, but seeing fans wearing your merchandise, cheering for the players, loving the Ohio Kings in the same way that we love it. It's an amazing thing when something that you create takes on a life of its own and becomes a part of other people's lives. And, I just sit back sometimes and it's just really amazing to think about that and to watch it and to see things that you visualize in your head actually become reality and look exactly like what you saw in your head. So I'm having a great time, man. The other two owners are having a great time. And I think the most gratifying thing is not only do we bring, I think, a high quality, family friendly form of entertainment, but the things that we're able to do in terms of giving back in the community, particularly in the Black community. You know, we try to spend dollars in the Black community. You know, we're looking for ways. Cincinnati State's been a great partner for us in terms of the venue that they provide, and we're going to continue to play our games there this season. But you know, we look for every opportunity to spend Black if we can. If we have, you know, food catered at the game, we're going to try to spend Black. So if there's some Black caterers, Black food businesses out there that are looking for opportunities to partner to get your name out there, we definitely want to talk to you. Hit us up at our email, ohkingsbasketball@gmail.com. Reach out to us. You know, we look for Black businesses to cater our VIP area, which comes with a free food, which comes with a VIP ticket, you know, to the game. You know, we practice this year. We've begun doing our practices we held a couple of them at the Summit Center, which is New Prospect Baptist Church in Roseline. They got a great gym facility there. In fact, we're going to be holding a preseason exhibition game there on November the 13th. And really just kind of trying to spread our dollars around the Black community wherever possible, bringing the community into our games to perform at halftime. We got a few surprises this year on some of the in-game experiences to really try to help make the fans more a part of the experience and getting the community involved. So that's a gratifying part of being able to do this job too, is to be able to give back to the community, support causes in the community through the support that we get from the fans to be able to give back. And we've been able to do that to some degree. So, you know, I'm just having a blast, man. It is so fun right now. And we're looking forward to another great season.
And not to get all into the business details in your business, but you know, you are part of a triumvirate. Am I correct in that? There's three of you. You're all Black. This is 100% Black owned, all Black males. And I know there's some family ties, but Kevin, talk to us. What is it like to build something like this, to be in business with other Black men? What is that like?
Man, it really is great. As you mentioned, one of the owners and I are cousins. We actually share the same name, ironically, different middle names, but we're both Kevin Aldridges. And all three of us are friends as well. So we have a long history together. But, you know, as in any business enterprise, you know, we're all three, as much as we're friends and we're alike, we all think differently. So it is, as with any business enterprise, you know, you got to learn to work with people who think differently. And we're all very strong-minded, you know, Black men who see the world the way we see it, see basketball the way we see it. And so we really have had to learn to, you know, really kind of work together, respect each other's opinions, be willing to compromise. And so that's been a great exercise as well in learning how to work with other men without it, Black men, without it turning into a thing and really kind of blowing up. Because, you know, when you're in business and money's on the line and you're making financial decisions, those can be potentially, you know, kind of explosive catalysts, you know, that can lead to some strong disagreements. But the thing I'm most proud of is that we've been able to, even when we've run into those choppy waters, that we've been able to resolve them in positive ways that always have the best interests of the team and the business, and not allowing our personal egos and things of that nature to get in the way, to always keep the main thing about the main thing, which is making the Ohio Kings a success. So I think, you know, that's something that we want to demonstrate, is that Black men can work together in a positive way, to where we're building each other up, not chopping each other down or trying to prove that one of us is any better than the rest of us. This is truly a team effort, and the Kings wouldn't be where we are or what we are without each of us and many others who have who are working with us in the organization to make this possible. So, you know, we go into this every day trying to say, how do we be an example? How do we try to be like Nathan Ivey, inspiring to other people so that they can say, we can do this too? Because that was our attitude, man. When we started the Kings, it was like, why not us? Why can't we go out and create a successful sports franchise here in Cincinnati. Why can't we do it? Why can't a Black person go out and do that and be successful? Everybody's looking out, and kudos to FC Cincinnati and others who've been able to do things. But we wanted to show that that Black people can go out and do this thing too, and we can do it successfully. We can do it in good order. We can do it professionally, and we can put a good product out there that people are going to come out and support. And that's what drives us.
Yeah, I love it, man. Kevin Aldridge is my guest. He's co-owner of the Ohio Kings, and they're starting a brand new season. So tell us about, give us the dates. When does the season start? When does preseason start? And how can people, is there a place we can download the schedule? How do we get tickets?
So I actually sent you I DM'd you a message with our schedule. So if you want to post it in the chat or somewhere, folks can see that. You can always go to our website, theohiokings.com, to get all of the latest on our schedule and tickets. Our Facebook page is hot. You can go on there and check that out, and check out some of our latest videos, Instagram, any of our social media. You'll be able to find information about the upcoming season. As I mentioned earlier, we've got a preseason game against the team called the Kentucky Enforcers. That's going to be on November the 13th, and that'll be at the Charles L. Shore Gymnasium at New Prospect Baptist Church, or the Summit Center is what they call it. We're going to have a preseason game there on the 13th. Obviously, it's not our home venue at Cincinnati State, so and it's a preseason game, so the experience will look a little bit different, but that'll be fans' first opportunity to come out and check us out against another really good local team that's worth checking out. So we encourage fans to come out and check us out there at the Summit Center on November 13th at 6:00. Then our actual first ABA regular season game is on December the 4th. At 6:00 at Cincinnati State, where we'll be playing the Louisville Colonels. And then we have another home game on December the 11th against the Akron Aviators. And then that'll be our last home game in 2021 before we jump into January with the remainder of our schedule. And again, you can check those out on our Facebook, Instagram pages, and theohiokings.com. for all of the latest on that. And I'm going to tell you, man, we have a murderer's row of opponents coming in this year. In our first year, we didn't know a lot about a lot of the ABA teams because we were new to the league. And so you kind of found out about teams as you scheduled them and played them. We kind of did our research, tried to watch film, but you don't really know a team until you play them. This year, we got a pretty good idea of who's on our schedule this year, and there are no slouches. We scored 200 points on a team in our first year. I don't think we're going to it'd be nice if we did, but I just think the level of competition we're playing this year, if we get 200 points, then we're going to be real good, Nathan. I think we're going to be celebrating a ABA championship if we get 200 points against the teams on our schedule this year. We start out the season, our first road game is against the number 1 ranked ABA team, the New Chicago Fury. We're on the road November 20th against them, but they come to our place. I think it's February 26th. I think they come to our place, and then we play the Steel City Yellow Jackets, which is Pittsburgh. We play them on the road December the 18th, and then they come back into our place, I believe, in late January. So we had a good rivalry with them in the first year. We went there to Pittsburgh. They put it on us when we went down there. They came here. We put it on them. So we're looking forward to renewing that. And they're the number 4th ranked team in the ABA this season. We currently sit at 34. Which is I'll actually take that because as a team that did not play last year and, kind of 2 years removed from our successful first year, being ranked at all is actually quite a privilege. They didn't have to do that. And I think that's more of a testament to our organization and their confidence in our ability to put together a high quality team that we were even able to get ranked after not being played last year. So, but we'll have plenty of opportunities, man, early in the season to prove how good we are. When you play number 1 and number 4 right off the bat, we're going to learn a lot about how good the Kings are this year.
Oh, that sounds exciting. That sounds exciting, man. I mean, I'm just so happy for you. I wish you nothing but the best. And I just know it's just going to grow. And I'm not sure what your plans are, but like, I'm typically optimistic. So as I was sitting again, I was like, I could just see the future. I could just see it down the line. I just wish nothing but the best for you. Talk about the players. Has there been a lot of turnover with the players? Y'all have y'all have some dogs out there.
Yeah.
You have some boys that can really ball out there. Who are the players? Like, where do they come from? Are they local based? Any names that we might recognize? And are there any new faces to the team?
Yeah, so lots of new faces this year, Nathan, and I'm gonna refrain from mentioning names right now because we're still in the process of kind of shaking out the roster. You know, we haven't ended our training camp yet, and there's still some personnel decisions that have to be made. So I want to respect the coaches. I want to respect the players right now. So I don't want to name any specific players today. But to answer your question, 2 years ago, we had players from all over the state of Ohio, a couple players from Indiana, a lot of players from Columbus, Northern Ohio, a handful of players who were from Cincinnati. Like I mentioned, a couple guys that were from Indiana last year. And one of the things that, and you were right, we had some dogs on that team last year, some guys who could really, really play. And but one of the things we wanted to do coming into this season was we wanted to have more local guys from the Cincinnati market, more guys that folks here might be familiar with, names that they might recognize from high schools or colleges. And so we really invested a lot this year, had a few more tryouts in the Cincinnati area to try to build our roster. So I think 90% of our team this year is going to be made up of guys who are from the Cincinnati area. So, the Cincinnati, Dayton metro area. So, should be a lot more familiar faces to folks on the roster this year. And I have to admit, man, I was a little concerned because we lost some guys. They got some opportunities, which is what we want. We want to cultivate these young guys and give them opportunities at higher levels. We lost a couple of guys who had opportunity to pursue basketball at a higher level, and they're playing down in a higher level league down in Florida right now. So, and they were two of our key players. One guy moved to Texas and is out there. So we probably lost about 4 or 5 players from our team last year. We lost one guy who would have been back with us, Cameron Moore. We lost him to injury at the beginning of the season. He broke his ankle, which was unfortunate circumstance for him. And so we're looking forward to putting a team on the court this year. It's going to be very local. The guys are excited. They're excited about an opportunity to represent their city, to play in front of their fans and people and family and people that they know. And we're excited for them. And even in the turnover that we've had, I have to say, I think our team this year is going to be better than the team we had a couple years ago. And I felt we had a championship level team a couple years ago. If COVID hadn't took the legs out of our season, I think we might have been hoisting a trophy a couple years ago. So I feel good about where we are. I think we've improved in some places. Not as tall as we were a couple years ago. We had a 6'10", 6'11" guy a couple years ago. He's moved on to a different team. He's actually playing. He's from Columbus, and he's actually playing for the Columbus team this year. And so we're not as tall as we were a couple of years ago. But again, we're still trying to look to rectify that because you're always on the grind in pro sports, looking for free agents and things that you can bring in. So even when we get our roster complete and get it ready for our first game of the season, we're still always on the lookout for talent.
How do you have it set up, Kevin, in terms of who makes the roster? Is it the ownership? Is it the coach? Is it the ownership after obviously taking, considerations with the coach? Like, how do you make who makes that decision?
Yeah, so our head coach is Lannis Timmons. Some folks might be familiar with him. He's a Woodward alum, former head coach there at Woodward. And we give coach a lot of latitude to decide, what the roster looks like. After all, he's going to be coaching these guys. So he's got to feel comfortable with them, feel like they're guys he can coach and who he can work with. Obviously, as ownership, we have an opinion on the players. And if the coaches ask us what we think, which they do. We share our opinions with them about what we think about the players, but we also empower them to make the decisions. You know, we didn't want to be Jerry Jones type guys, you know, deciding for the coaches who they play and what their team should look like. We trust our coach and his assistant staff. If we didn't value their opinions or trust them, they wouldn't be the coach. And so we give them a wide berth to say to us, these are the best, you know, 10, 11 guys that we think we want to have on our roster on game days. And we give them a pretty wide berth. And there's not much disagreement. I mean, when you get to this level, Nathan, I mean, it's like it's you know, I mean, you know how it is sometimes, even when you're hiring out in corporate America, when you get down to your finalists, your 2 or 3 finalists, there's not much that separates. And that's the challenge, you know, right now when you're picking from guys, is like you got a lot of guys who are supremely talented. And so you start to look for little things to try to differentiate, you know, who you want on the roster, what guy fits, you know, a role best. And you start to look for small things to differentiate guys, because you really couldn't go wrong with anybody that you pick. And so I think we're fortunate from that aspect that however, you know, whatever the final roster winds up looking like, they're going to be, you know, 10 to 11 supremely talented guys. And we're going to keep probably a few extra guys around for our practice squad and for injuries, just in case. So yeah, we give our coaches that power.
Is there an opportunity even after the season starts for people to make the team, maybe as a practice player? And if so, what's that process?
Yeah, I mean, you know, this is professional sports. You know, it's just like the NBA. You know, teams make moves and transactions and sign guys to 10-day contracts and elevate guys from the G League all the time. So we're no different. I mean, we're always on the lookout for talent. And whether we see a guy, you know, someplace else, or whether somebody reaches out to us. I mean, this happened a lot in our first year. You know, guys who who play basketball but didn't know about the Ohio Kings, and they find out about the team and they say, hey, man, I'd like to come in for a private workout. You know, they'll hit us up on Instagram or on our Facebook or on our social media, and we'll bring them in for a private workout. We'll work them out, see if they have what it takes to be a part of the team. And if we think they can help us, we'll bring them in. You know, they may start out on the practice squad and work their way onto the roster, or they may just be that good. Their talent may be that good where we bring them directly up and put them on the roster. So if there are players out there, the process is not over. So if there are players out there who think they have what it takes to play professionally, would like to play for their hometown here in Cincinnati with the Ohio Kings, shoot us a message. You know, hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, you know, and say, hey, I like to come in for a private workout. We'll work you out and we'll let you know.
Oh, somebody's got jokes. Somebody writes, I heard Kyrie Irving is available.
Kyrie ain't gonna play for us. He don't want to get that shot. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Yeah. Hey,
speaking of which, so you might have just answered the question there, but do the players have to be vaccinated? Are there vaccine mandates for the ABA?
There are not vaccine mandates for the ABA. What we've tried to do is incentivize players, you know, to get vaccinated. So we have bonus incentives for players to get vaccinated. So in other words, you know, we'll pay you to get vaccinated. But you know, look, we understand, you know, our posture as an organization and as a team is the vaccine is a good thing. You know, I'm vaccinated. So everybody in my family is vaccinated. So I'm pro-vaccine, but I'm also pro an individual making a choice for themselves about what is the best option. Because there are a lot of reasons why people don't get the vaccine. Some medical, some religious, some, you know, I mean, people have different reasons for why they don't get it. The only thing I say is make sure that your decision not to get it is a sound one. You know, don't be out here on the conspiracy tip or some nonsense. If you've consulted with your doctor and there's, you know, you have legitimate causes or concern about getting the vaccine because of your personal health, then do what you do. I'm not going to judge anybody for that. And I don't think it's right to force people to do something that they don't want to do. And we don't want to send that message as an organization. But I mean, but look, it's like with anything else, you know, if you, you know, contract COVID, you know, you're going to be missing games, you're going to be missing paychecks, and you're going to hurt your team. And so that's what we try to appeal to. We try to appeal to incentivize players to do it, not punish them. And so that's kind of where we're at on it.
So speaking of COVID-19, the vaccine, is there a policy for fans, for spectators?
There is.
Mask requirement?
There is a mask requirement at games for the fans, and that is Cincinnati State is their policy as a university is they have a mask mandate. You have to have masks on in the building, and since we're utilizing their facility, we got to follow their rules. So there will be a mask mandate for fans. We will have masks at the game for fans who don't have them. We'll have Ohio Kings masks at the game if you want to purchase one of those and be stylish in your mask at the game. But we're going through a variety of different protocols to make folks feel safe. We're going to have some air purifying units that are going to clean the air that we're going to have in the gym as well, that are bacteria and COVID killing machines that we're going to have scattered around the gym to create a safer environment as well. Hand sanitizer stations in the gym. We're going to make sure that the seats and everything like that are thoroughly cleaned and disinfected at the games. And so we even have a quality control person whose job is it going to be to make sure that we are meeting all of our COVID safety requirements at the game. We want folks to, you know, not worry about that, not have to worry about that as much as possible when they come in to experience a game. We want folks focused on having a good time, enjoying some good basketball, enjoying the community and each other at the game. And so we're going to do everything that we can to take those concerns off the table.
I'm speaking to Kevin Aldridge. He's the co-owner of the Ohio Kings, and the new season is start to get hot again. So go to theohiokings.com for a schedule, and I'll post it as well. So I know you're a fan of the NFL, and it sounds like you might be a fan of the NBA. Is that correct, Kevin?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here's my question for you. So now that you're in this seat as the owner of your own professional sports franchise, when you watch the game, do you watch it differently? Do you see different things? If so, what are those things? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I think you watch everything differently. I think I pay a lot of attention to the in-game experience, right? Look, everything is about the fans, about the audience when you get right down to it. And that has to be how you build, I think, your business model. It's about the customer, it's about the fan. And so everything that I look at now when I watch games is aside from just enjoying the sport, but what are they doing? What are they doing for the fans? You know, how are they making the experience as visceral and as enjoyable as possible for the fans? So I'm looking around the stadiums, I'm looking around the arenas, I'm trying to pay attention when I physically go to a game, especially basketball. I look at, you know, what are they doing during the timeouts? You know, how easy are they making it for fans to have access to the concessions and to the different things? And so when I go to these things now, it's not that I don't enjoy the games, but it's like I'm really soaking in, you know, how are they positioning the advertisers that they have, you know, at the game? Who are the advertisers that are supporting them? What parts of the game are they getting sponsored? You know, it's amazing how many different aspects of a sporting event have some business or sponsor tied to it. Even the smallest thing, you know, the player of the game has a sponsor, you know, I mean, it's, so these are the types of things as you're building your business and you're looking at it, that you look at differently. When you have situations with players, how is the organization handling that? How are they communicating it? What does their messaging look like for good and bad? So I try to learn from, when organizations have a tough situation with a coach or player, what is the messaging that they're putting out there? Now I have a unique advantage because I work, you know, in the media. So I do kind of understand, you know, what the media is going to be looking at and what they're going to be going after. But I think there's also to be something learned from how organizations handle it and how they interact with the media. So really just kind of trying to be a student, of all of that stuff. It's really more about what's around the game than what's actually happening on the field or on the court, that I pay a lot more attention to these days. So it does kind of change the way that you watch it, and I think it gives you a bit more appreciation for why certain things happen the way they do in sports that sometimes we don't always understand.
That's interesting. You know what? And it makes sense. I think that's what a smart person would do, right? Because the NBA and the NFL, they spent millions, if not tens of millions of dollars and a lot of time developing these business models. Why recreate the wheel, right? Mm-hmm. Why not just try to learn from what they're already doing? So during the game, do you get a chance to enjoy the game, or are you focused on the fan experience and watching all that stuff? Now, I know you're watching the game, right? You can't get away from it, but is your lens also on like the fan experience and the other things that are happening?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, and I think it's going to be more focused this year on the fan experience. I'm a competitive guy, man, and this is our team, and you're proud of the team and you're proud of the guys, and you want to win. I mean, I hate losing, man. I'm just going to be honest. I'm not good when I lose, and so I want us to win every game, right? So there were times in year one where I was probably a little bit too concerned with the game and not as concerned as I should have been with the fan experience all the time. And so, but yeah, I mean, I try to get around to the fans who are at the game, to first and foremost, let them know that you appreciate them being there, man. Because people got a lot of options right now. They could be anywhere doing anything that they want. Nobody has to patronize your product. Nobody has to come to the game. And so I want to make sure that if folks walk in the Cincinnati State's gym to see an Ohio Kings game, that we really sincerely appreciate them being there and finding us worthy of their time for a couple of hours on a Saturday to come and check us out. So I really try to get around and do that and make sure folks are okay. Is there anything we can get for you? Can we explain the rules of the game? Because the ABA rules are slightly different. There are a few rules that are different in the ABA. So you may see something that happens during the course of the game and you're like, hold up, what's up with that? That's not like any basketball I've seen before. And so being able to explain that to the fans and to just interact with them, get feedback from them about the game experience. What can we do better? What did they really like about the game? What would they like to see? Everything from the concessions that we offer to just anything that might be going on with the game, even to the seating. Do they like our uniforms? It's like all of this data that you want to try to gather from your fans to, again, enhance the experience for them. Because for me, the most gratifying thing is to see folks having a good time, man. And that's what it's all about. We want you to come, find food that you're going to like when you're there, drinks that you're going to like when you're there, a team that you're going to like when you're there, seating that's comfortable and accommodating for you, and see some folks from the community maybe that you haven't seen in a while, at a game, and to reconnect there. Those are the things that matter to us. And of course, winning. So we have committed as an ownership group this year that we're going to chill out. We're going to have our little owner seats at the game, and we're going to interact with fans heavily, and that we're not going to allow ourselves to get as caught up in the game action this year. It's going to be tough because, as I said, we're so proud of this team, and we think we got a good team this year, and we're all super competitive. But we're going to try not to be jumping out on the court and cheering this year.
How much are the tickets?
Tickets are $10, man, and for just a regular general admission seat, $20 for VIP. And let me explain what the VIP experience is. If you've never been to an Ohio Kings game before, we actually have, really nice, comfortable courtside seating at our games that get you up close and personal with the players. Those tickets are $20 for the courtside seat. But with that, you also get access to our VIP concession area, which is a higher grade of concessions than what we offer at the concession stand. So at the concession stand, you're going to find hot dogs, pizza, popcorn, potato chips, and candy, all of that stuff. You'll be able to get access to that as well at our VIP, but you'll also be able to get a higher grade level of food. So that we generally have catered, and it's really very nice high-end food that folks are going to enjoy. And it's free. You know, you get that with your ticket. So you get your great courtside seats, and you get free meal for $20. That's our VIP ticket. And we're experimenting. We're going to experiment this year, Nathan, at least at our first couple of home games. I'm not calling them wait staff. We haven't figured out exactly what we're going to call them yet, but we'll have a couple of folks in our VIP section who are going to cater to those fans. So in year one, if you were a VIP fan, you could get up and go to the VIP area yourself and get your food and beverages. This year, we're going to have staff that, let's just say, if you don't want to get up out of your seat, they're going to cater to you. They'll go get whatever you want, bring it back to you at your seat, and you don't even have to move if you don't want to do that this year. So we're really trying to make the VIP experience for our fans high class, high quality. Those staff will also be well educated on the rules of the game. So if fans in that section, you know, have questions as we go about, those fans will also be able to, or that staff will also be able to address any questions. So again, all about the fan experience. How can we make it easy, comfortable, enjoyable?
Well, Kevin, thank you so much for your time. Maurice wants to know, what about getting shares of stock? Can you buy shares of stock in the Ohio Kings?
You know, a lot of folks have asked us about investing in the Ohio Kings, and that is something that I will definitely say that is an option that's going to be available down the road. Is we are going to have opportunities to invest in the team, not this year per se, but there are going to be some opportunities down the road that we're looking at, that we're discussing as an ownership about how do we bring some investors on board to help grow this enterprise, because that is going to be a part of what's necessary, we think, to take the Kings to the next level. And so stay tuned on that, and for opportunities to perhaps invest and get a piece of what we're trying to build here.
Okay, well, please let me know, because maybe the Choppers and I come together and start our own investment group and invest in what you're doing. Angela wants to know, any vegan plant-based options? You know, that's big these days.
Absolutely. And that's a great question, man. See, this is why I love the Chop Shop and the Nathan Ivey Show, man. You know, that is the first time that anybody has asked that question about those sorts of food options. And we're going to, as I mentioned, we're going to try to have something for everybody at our games. So if you don't eat meat, if you're vegan, vegetarian, whatever your dietary preference is, we want to make sure that we have something for you there. So we are going to try to have some vegan options at the games this year. So yeah, thank you for that question. That's a great question.
Yeah, Angela kind of beat me to it. I know for a fact she's plant-based. I'm plant-based, and there's a significant portion of millennials that are plant-based too. So again, it might be something to consider.
Yeah.
But Kevin, again, thank you so much for your time this morning. I wish you the best. Whenever you got flyers or anything, please send them to me. I'll send them out to the Choppers and on my social media, and we'll catch up real soon, brother. Hopefully we can catch up maybe later this week and talk about the election. No, this was about the Kings right here, but maybe later this week we can catch up and talk about, pick the bones of the election and pick your brain on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to. And thank you again, Nathan, for giving me this opportunity, man. I mean, you've had me on here for a long time today.
Oh, for sure.
And I've always appreciated the support that you and Sin Digital Media have given to this enterprise that we're trying to do. Any kind of press when you're doing something like this is invaluable. I mean, marketing, exposure, advertising, very expensive but very precious, because we feel like we got a strong product, and we feel like if we can get you to an Ohio Kings game, we'll definitely get you to 2. And if we get you to 2, we'll make you a fan. And the big thing is awareness, is letting people know that we're out here, that they can get there. And you have done a lot to help us get the word out, man. And that's really appreciated. My dad always says nobody has to do anything for you. They're not obligated to do anything for you. So when somebody does, you all let them know how much you appreciate. And I appreciate you, brother, and everything that you're doing to help us keep this thing rolling. And you guys out there, you can also check out some of our Ohio Kings gear. I don't know how well people can see this, but this is one of the new logo designs that we're experimenting with this
I like
year.
that.
This is my own design. I'm gonna get a little humble brag for myself right here. I came up with this one myself, so I get to be a designer too, Nathan. That's the other part of this thing that's actually kind of hype, is you get to design your own merchandise. So we're gonna have lots of great merchandise this year available at Ohio Kings games. We're also gonna be back in Walmart. A lot of people didn't know about this, but our gear was available at select Walmart locations in year one, and we're going to be back in Walmart again this year. That's big for us too. We sold a lot of merchandise through Walmart in year one, actually sold out the merchandise that we had at Walmart in year one. So we're excited about getting back in there, and we're going to be trying to expand our brand to other venues and locations where you can find Ohio Kings merchandise. So please, just come out and support community. The more you guys support us, the more we can support the community back. And that's really what we're all about. Not to get too much into the finances, but everything we get so far, we have poured back into this team and this organization, and in trying to help back the community. So before we even eat, we want to make sure that everybody associated with us eats first, and that we can have that the community can eat as well. I still have a day job right now. So do the other two owners. So this is an enterprise of love for us right now. We hope to grow it into a career passion. But for right now, if we don't get anything other than building young athletes and helping to build our community, that's enough for us right now. So thanks, Nathan, for the opportunity.
Oh, most definitely, Kevin, and wish you all the success, brother. And like I said, hopefully after the election, we catch up and talk a little politics.
All right, man. All right. I'll be glad to do it. Thanks.
Most def. That's Kevin Aldridge, everybody, one of the co-owners of the Ohio Kings, 100% black-owned, locally black-owned. Like I said, I'm in everything I said. I think it's a great idea. When he told us about it, I was super excited for him, man, like super excited. It seemed like it'd be so much fun. Like, what a dope business. And I've gone to the games. I thought it was fun. We all had a time. We had a good time. Took the wifey and our children went. Felt safe, had a good time. I love some basketball. And then it's anything that's local. I thought it was really cool. So check them out. $10 for a regular ticket, $20 for the VIP special seating. Plus you get free eats. And they might be looking at some plant-based options, man, plant-based. Because it's just amazing just how the plant-based universe has expanded. It ain't like it used to be a long time ago when everything was nasty. Man, you can eat good and eat plants. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Believe me, if it wasn't that way, I would tell you. So props to him again. Their website is 3Ws.theohiokings.com. And then I'll post their flyers as they come up so everybody can check it out. All right. So with that, let me slip into another break. It's right before the election. So we're running a lot of political ads. Again, these are not personal endorsements. It's an opportunity for candidates to get in front of you. So give them your ear and then make your own decision. For the folks who have not voted, you might be voting today. So it could be a last time for the candidates to get in front of you, or you might be voting tomorrow. Just give them your ear and consider them based upon your own criteria. I'm not here to tell you who to vote for or per se. If there's a threat to our community, I will not spare my opinion. But in general, you make your own decision. I just want to give you a space where you can get as much information as possible. So I'm still here, live, local, and vocal. It's the Nathan Ivey Show, powered by CDM, and we'll be right back.
I'm Scotty Johnson, candidate for Cincinnati City Council. Unfortunately, injustice remains in the city of Cincinnati. A remedy for injustice is courageous, bold leadership. I plan on bringing that type of leadership to City Hall. It's time to stop talking about it and to start doing something about it. Disparities have been in Cincinnati far too long. I'm the candidate to address those disparities. Vote Scotty Johnson for Cincinnati City Council.
Paid for by friends of Scotty Johnson.
I'm former Mayor Dwight Tillery asking you to vote for my friend, Michelle Dillingham, who is a Democrat running for Cincinnati City Council. The black population in our city has declined, pushing black homeowners out while speculators purchase their houses for pennies on the dollar. Black people are being foreclosed on because of rigged housing and economic systems.
Michelle Dillingham will fight for you. This is Victoria Strawn. You know me, Sister V. City Council prefers investing in a soccer stadium and gentrifying our historic neighborhoods. Malcolm X said that if you don't own land, you're nothing but a squatter.
Come on, Michelle, talk to the people.
City Council is being sued for discriminatory tax abatement programs that unfairly enrich wealthy white neighborhoods. I know because I've been fighting for reform for years. Isn't it time to elect a candidate who will stand up for the people over special interests? Vote for me, Michelle Dillingham, Democrat for Cincinnati City Council.
Paid for by Dillingham for Council Committee.
Cincinnati has challenging days ahead, but we've got Councilman Steve Gooden in our corner. An expert litigator, legislator, and all-around problem solver, Gooden honed his courtroom skill as an Army JAG officer, then came home to advocate for us.
We have a city that is in crisis. Our city is facing monstrous challenges in terms of its economic recovery and in terms of its financial stability. I'm running for city council because I care about the city that we're leaving behind for my 3 children.
Steve Gooden worked shoulder to shoulder with labor unions to save our city from bankruptcy, rescued Cincy's biggest residential development from overzealous activists, and is introducing campaign finance and lobbying reforms to fight corruption in City Hall.
We have to put our house in order in terms of ethics. We've had 3 city council members who have been arrested and charged with felonies in federal court in the last year alone. There is systemic corruption that has to be rooted out and addressed, and I have a very detailed plan to do so.
Steve Gooden always stands with us and always gets results. That's why we can trust Gooden to help Cincinnati small businesses cut red tape and create thousands of union jobs in our city. For the challenges ahead and the bright future beyond, choose the leader who always advocates for us.
I'm Steve Gooden, and I'm asking for your vote.
This is County Commissioner Alicia Reese, and I'm supporting Reggie Harris for Cincinnati City Council. Not only did Reggie support me in my tough election last year, but we walked the streets of Cincinnati together to deliver food and help citizens in this pandemic. Reggie Harris knows what it means to help people in these tough times, and as a former vice mayor, I know how important it is to have good leaders at City Hall. That's why I'm asking you to join with me in voting for Reggie Harris for City Council.
Paid for by friends of Reggie Harris.
This is Hamilton County Commissioner Alicia Reese, and I've been busy fighting hard for the citizens of our county. But today I'm asking you to vote for my friend, Democrat Elizabeth Tye, for municipal court judge. Elizabeth Tye and her family stood with me in a tough election. Now I'm asking you to stand with Elizabeth Tye for judge. She's from our community, and she's qualified. Elizabeth Tye grew up in Kennedy Heights and graduated from Central State University. Elizabeth Tye has been a prosecutor, a public defender, and has built a law practice from the bottom up. There is currently only one Black woman on the municipal court. It's time to send another one. Join me in voting for my sister, Elizabeth Tye, for judge. Meet me at the polls.
This is Elizabeth Tye, and there is only one judicial race, and I need you to vote Tye for judge. Let's send a clear message that hard work and experience matters. Go vote Tye for judge today.
Paid for by the committee to elect Democrat Elizabeth Tye for municipal judge.
Can't sleep.
It's hard to pay attention in school. I say mean things.
I keep getting in trouble.
I bully other kids. I'm just scared.
No one sees my pain.
Sometimes I want to die.
So many of our children are facing trauma, but instead of seeing their pain and fear, we're labeling them bad, troubled, delinquent, or criminal. Let's look beyond their behaviors. Let's get them the help they need by helping them address the trauma they're facing.
Help me feel safe.
See me for more than my behaviors.
Understand that my actions are how I communicate my fears.
For more information, visit www.ohiostateofemergency.com. That's ohiostateofemergency.com.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. And just want to remind you that the Ohio State of Emergency promos that you see are sponsored by the folks over at Renew Community Church. Good morning to you. So what do you think about Kevin Aldridge? Man, that is such a dope like, I don't know if you call it a side hustle or hobby or business. It's such a dope business. Wish him nothing but the best. Good morning to you. Welcome back. Remember, these are political ads. They're not personal endorsements. Good morning to you. I'm already back. Here's my number, 513-873-7134. Lots to talk about, man, but I want to talk about this brother right here. Right, know who that is right there? That brother's right name, that is Alpo Martinez. Alberto, a.k.a. Alpo Martinez. Anybody know what his significance is? What's his significance to the culture? You ever see the movie called Paid in Full? Yeah, about these dope dealers up in New York. Very, very sad and tragic story. That's the brother that killed Rich. Yeah, he is, well, what's being written about him, he was an infamous drug kingpin. And he was placed in witness protection program. Apparently, he started snitching on a whole lot of people. He was shot dead over the weekend, drive-by shooting. He was leaving a club. Somebody rode up on him while he was in his car and shot him multiple times, and he died. It's Alpo Martinez. And if anybody's ever seen the movie Paid in Full, remember that movie Paid in Full? And the character that was portrayed by Cameron, remember that? Classic. Cameron killed it in that movie. He killed it in that movie. I didn't know the brother could act like that. He killed it in that. He made the movie. They all did great roles in it, but he made the movie. Cameron was so dope as an actor. Matter of fact, I think I got a screenshot from that real quick. I can show you. Hold on. I think this image right here is a scene when he killed Rich. It was 3 of them. There it is. Yeah, classic. He played the hell out of that. I was scared of it. I'm like, damn, is Alpo here? Not really. Just having some fun with it. But he really did a good job in that portrayal. Who knew that Cameron could act? Like, hip hop just opened the door for a whole lot of creatives. Like, now we call those kind of people creatives. But back in the day, they were just hip hop artists in a movie. But no, they was creative. Hip hop just opened the door for a lot of cats, man, to show their creativity. But Alpo Martinez is dead. And he was shot 5 times. Some would say that they're not surprised because apparently, and there's a whole lot of YouTube videos about this brother. There's a whole lot of YouTube videos about this brother. Ladies, is he attractive? Got that sweet little baby face. Don't let it get twisted. Apparently, he was a cold-blooded killer. Some people have referred to him as a psychopath, a sociopath, stone cold killer. And as the story goes, he killed Rich. Rich was trying to get his money up because Rich's youngest brother had been abducted, sadly enough, by a family member. And apparently he was being mailed pieces of his younger brother's hands. Like they was chopping off fingers and sending them in the mail to Rich. He was abducted. The younger brother was abducted by a jealous family member. And he was trying to extort money from Rich because Rich was a local dope dealer. He was living good, chains and rings, watches, clothes, women, and all kind of cars. Family member got in his feelings, abducted his little brother, and was cutting off pieces of him. This is a true story. Cutting off pieces of the young boy and then mailing them to Rich. Tragically, they ended up killing the young boy. But while Rich was trying to get his money up, he met up with this guy right here, as the legend goes. When dude found out he had a whole bunch of, I think he had some drugs, he killed him for it. He really killed 2 people. He killed him and Rich brother because when Rich couldn't come through with the money, the abductors, the kidnappers, killed his little brother. It's a true story. And apparently his brother right here, Alberto Martinez, when he got in custody, he just started snitching on a whole lot of people. And it looks like he caught up with him. Daily News, Alpo Martinez, NYC drug lord turned federal witness, fatally shot. And apparently he was just, from what I've been reading ever since over the weekend, he was seen to have just been like whipping around Harlem on a 4-wheeler, on his motorcycle, just, like nothing was nothing. And I think in that world, when you snitch on people, I think sometimes it can catch up with you. It looks like it did. New York Times drug boss Alpo Martinez killed in Harlem. How many of the people ever seen Paid in Full? If you like those kind of movies, I mean, it's classic. If you like those kind of movies. If you're not into that kind of stuff, like I don't want to watch that nonsense, then it's not really you. But if you like that kind of stuff, you'll find it to be very, very interesting. I did. I've seen it so many times I can't even remember. I don't know. Is it glorifying it? I don't know. I mean, the movie ends tragically. Like everybody damn near dead. Everybody go to jail. Everybody got bullets in them. Everybody end up messed up, losing family members. It's like, shit, I don't want that life. I don't want that life. Ladies, is he attractive? Is he cute? Is he cute? You tell me. Stone Cold Killer, apparently. From what I read, that's the legend of Alpo. And again, if you go on YouTube right now and you Google Alpo, just ALPO, just like the dog food back in the day, Alpo, you're going to come up with hundreds of videos, hundreds of interviews, hundreds of videos. There it is. Classic. Classic. They all them brothers, man, turned in some strong performances. Going back to the halcyon days of hip hop. Everybody knows who knows anything that hip hop aesthetic, hip hop style, and swagger was heavily influenced by guys by the dope dealers. Some of your favorite all-time great hip hop artists was taking their fashion cues from the dope dealers on the block. Everybody knows that, or now you know. 513-873-7134. So another just tragedy all the way around. And one of the brothers, there's only one brother that's still alive right now. I can't recall the guy's name. I'm sure some of the choppers know. And he did his time and came out. And he did an interview with Vlad TV in which he talked about everything. I mean, it's just like riveting. You'll just be like glued to your phone watching it. Just great stuff, man. Just great, if you want to say television. That's the new television, right? YouTube, great television watching. But what do you think? And also, what do you think about the Kings? Jenny writes, I absolutely hate those kind of movies. Okay. Absolutely. Maurice writes, Life of the Dope Game. Tierra writes, Paid in Full is one of my favorite movies, second to the Five Heartbeats. Yeah, it is. It's, of a certain era or just a certain whatever taste, it's one of those movies. TNT writes, classic. Sean writes, what movie is this? It's called Paid in Full. Paid in Full. Thinking of a master plan. Must check that out if you haven't seen it. If you like those kind of movies. If that's not your flavor, then don't even mess with it. But Alpo Martinez gunned down over the weekend. So that seems to be that really was the last part of the story. And like I said, if you go on YouTube right now, sound like a broken record, but I'll say it once again. If you go on YouTube and type in Alpo Martinez, hundreds of videos are going to come up. And probably at the top of the list is you're going to see a lot of Vlad TV videos. Shout out to Vlad. I don't know the brother. He does great work, though. A lot of people watch his videos. He's all into this stuff. Some people say he's like a Sean King of the culture, and he just basically trying to make a lot of money off of it. Maybe so. Maybe so. I don't know. But, his YouTube channel is very, very popular for a reason. Check that out if you're into it. And again, I wish nothing but the best. Sandra writes, wow, crazy. Yeah, it's real out here. This ain't no game. This is not a game out there. Maurice writes, it was just on yesterday. He got smoke cam, said, I ain't going to snitch on no one from Harlem, but I'll give you some names from somebody somewhere else. Mitch was his name, right? Right. Mitch, right. I did. That was the very end of the movie, Paid in Full. He's like, I ain't going to snitch on nobody from Harlem. But apparently, he was working with the federal government. And what's up with the federal government right now? Since we're talking about this, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the federal government and rap artists, because is anybody paying attention to what they're doing with NBA YoungBoy? Anybody paying attention to this? It's quite interesting, man, because NBA YoungBoy was continues to be one of the big names right now in hip hop. And if you don't know, he recently was released from incarceration. He was recently released because he got picked up. I'll tell you the whole story, but my question is, it's really interesting, man, because on one hand, something that's in the news right now is there's a new expose about what happened with the January 6th insurrection. And what we found out now, what we now know is that the federal government, they had a lot of information in advance as to what was going to happen. But they sitting back on some like, oh, man, these people would never do this, right? Oh, these good Trump supporters, they love the police. They would never go after the police, right? So they sat back. That's the reason why there wasn't a military presence. Now, it's so interesting to me because when Black Lives Matter did a march last year, it was like aliens was invading Washington. They was ready for war. But when they got, and by they I'm talking about the federal government, the FBI got credible information that these crazy ass Trump supporters was going to try to take over America, they literally sat back like, well, nah, they wouldn't do this. They love the police. Huh? And you and I both know that one of the biggest threats to our society right now are white supremacists, homegrown domestic white terrorists. That's the one of the biggest threats right now. Look at what these crazy folks would do. They blowing up federal buildings, Tim McVeigh. You better watch. They're trying to take over the country because Donald Trump righteously lost to Joe Biden, but yet they got time to mess with NBA YoungBoy. And I'll give you the details right after this call. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Nathan. How you doing, guy?
I'm doing well. Doing well. Fame, good morning.
Yeah, the one and only. What was that? There's a couple of things I wanted to touch on, but mainly, he's kind of took me aback a little bit talking about this paid in full Mr. Martinez guy. That stuff about his little brother, Rich Porter's little brother, I mean, that just adds to the story, but let's not act like Rich Porter was an angel. He was killing people too. And Mr. Martinez shot him because he basically stole $300,000 from him. You know, AZ, you talked about the Vlad TV interview. I saw that. The other guy, AZ, he even said it. Like, well, you know, I mean, if he hooking you up with the plug, he should be able to, you know, tax you a little bit. He taxing him, you know, charging 100 kilos or whatever. He added another $3 to $5 grand to the price of it, you know, and stole $300,000 from him. So let's not act like he was some type of nice guy who was just caught up. He was an asshole too. Millionaire with his mama living in the hood. You know, all those kidnapping attempts and extortion attempts and whatnot. So, you know, the streets, you know, always remember everything. But, you know, so Mr. Martinez had everything, whatever happened to him, you know, it was apparently coming to him for 30 years. But we're not going to sit here and act like Porter was an angel. Are we clear?
I hear your point, brother.
And also, hey, congratulations on your award from the NAACP. I'm not going to say it's not well deserved, but you know, I guess it is. But listen, I think you need to quit being so disrespectful.
Disrespectful about what?
About the alt middle. It's not gone anywhere. Daddy is still here. I birthed it. I'm still here. Let me talk about you guys are no more. You broke up. When Trouble T. Roy died, it was still Heavy D and the boy, not Heavy D and a couple motherfuckers. Professor Griff left Public Enemy. It was still Public Enemy.
No, it was never the same. Don't even act like that, bro.
Public Enemy made his best song without him.
It ain't the same without Progressive.
Welcome to the Terror Dome.
It's not the same without
Welcome
Professor
to the Terror Dome.
It ain't the same.
Welcome to the Terror Dome.
It's just like it ain't the same without Flavor Flav. They try to do it. They try to. Matter of fact, they kick Flavor Flav out. He's currently out the group, as I understand it. It's not the same.
Exactly.
It's just Chuck.
Exactly.
D. It's just Chuck D now.
It's just Chuck D. All you need is the MC right now. You don't need all that background noise. That's the problem. We don't need distractions. Black folks been distracted. Flavor Flav was a distraction.
So you tell me that Black Russia was a distraction to the alt middle?
I didn't say that. I just said you don't need all that background noise.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And you causing background noise. Stop insulting my group.
I'm not insulting.
Okay.
You,
yes, you are.
I don't believe that story. I don't believe you said y'all broke up over Avatar. I don't believe that.
I don't give a damn.
I don't believe it. It just don't make sense. It don't feel right. There's something more going on.
I don't care. You one of these people who don't believe fat meat is greasy, but it is. Okay. If I tell you that's what happened, that's what happened. I got no reason to lie to you.
You might.
You know, and I heard you crying, belly aching, talking about, well, I want to see the alt middle come back. You know, I'm a uniter. I'll tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this right now. You want to see the alt middle come back? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, then it ain't went nowhere. That's what I'm saying.
It ain't
But you
the
want to
same,
see the
though,
group
brother.
back together? You want to see the group back together? I'll do it under one condition.
What's that?
If you ban 4 out of the following 5 people.
It's not going to happen.
Okay, then exactly. The alt middle ain't going to be a triumph. That same old triumvirate. It'll be a triumvirate again. Just won't be the same triumvirate.
Yeah.
Please stop. I said what I said.
Yeah,
Been
I
real.
hear you. I don't
had
believe it, though.
fun. I don't care what you don't believe. You know, I don't believe you deserve an award for the NAACP. You more home for the black folks than rap music. But it is what it is. Hey, it's been real. I had fun. I'll holler at you soon.
So did I. Oh, nice little throaty howl. Appreciate it. I don't believe it. Something more going on. He says they broke up because of AvTab. I don't believe it. And you do have a reason to lie. If the reason why you broke up was some old dumbish, you would lie to try to save face. You would lie. So whatever. It is what it is. Appreciate the call, though. We'll go ahead and rack you. Appreciate the call. Now, your point you made about Alpo and Mitch and AZ, that could be true. So here's the poster of it, right? And here are the same brothers in real life, just to give you a sense of it. And if you're wondering why we're talking about this, Alpo Martinez was shot dead over the weekend. Apparently, something caught up with him. And as I understand it, nobody has been apprehended. And he was well known for working with the feds. And I don't know, I've never been in that situation. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, the word snitch is an acronym, and it stands for sorry, Negro, I'm trying to come home. Right? That was an album or a record that was made really popular. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, Negro, I'm trying to come home. I get it. You know, if I was in that situation, I'm trying to come home too. Loyalty, schmoyalty. I'm trying to get home. So maybe that's just the reality of it. I've never been in that situation. That's not my world. But if you go by what you hear and what you read, apparently that's just a part of it. Feds roll down on you and you're looking at doing a whole lot of time. What you going to do? Yeah, you have mafia members. Some of these cats took blood oaths and they work with the feds. So I don't necessarily, I look at things in a much more realistic viewpoint, right? I get it. You trying to stay in jail for the rest of your life because of loyalty? Please. Sorry, Negro, I'm trying to come home. Right? I get it. Now, all this talk about the feds and rappers and hip hop and the culture and all this kind of stuff got me thinking about NBA YoungBoy. And I saw a YouTube video that seemed to be very credible. And with a lawyer talking about his case. And now NBA YoungBoy has been released from jail. He had to post millions of dollars of bond and put up property and all this kind of stuff. And I'm not against NBA YoungBoy. NBA is an acronym that stands for Never Broke Again. Never broke again. And apparently he had, you know, I don't know if you would call these minor, but it wasn't like no great serious offense from what I understand about it. A lot of this stuff was stuff that was kind of going through the courts. And the feds had this whole operation and they named it Never Free Again. Never Free Again. I guess they thought it was funny. And initially when the story came out, it was reported that NBA YoungBoy was apprehended on a gun charge. Apparently he's got some disabilities in terms he's not allowed to have a gun. But he was on the set of a movie shooting a music video, and then the feds rolled down on him. And apparently there was some guns that was in the video, but again, I mean, were these guns nothing more than props? It wasn't like he was trying to, you know, draw down on somebody. He's an artist. Artists shoot videos. But again, the FBI seemed like they got in their feelings about NBA YoungBoy. And I told you before, COINTELPRO has never ended. It's still going on now. They just call it different things. During the war in Iraq, COINTELPRO was surveilling anti-war activists, infiltrating the anti-war movement. This is well documented. COINTELPRO, they wasn't just surveilling and following political social activists. They were following Black artists as well. Anybody who said anything that they thought was on some freedom type ish or something that was about Black liberation or parity for the people, your name was on the list. The FBI was following you. Seems like they still doing that. And when the story first came out about NBA YoungBoy and he was facing federal gun charges, the story came out and said that he led the police on a high-speed chase. I remember talking about it. I was like, what's wrong with this dude? 90 miles per hour. Well, now it came out during the testimony and the information from the trial, but actually he was kind of speeding away at 35 miles per hour, which is much more reasonable. Like maybe he was trying to find a safe space or a place to pull over. And because of this, a judge gave him bond and allowed him to be released. But they still after him. The FBI is still after him. And I'm like, well, damn, the FBI is expending all this energy. They got whole names for the operation to try to get this one man as if NBA YoungBoy is some kind of threat. He ain't no damn threat. He ain't doing nothing but singing and rapping. That's it. Meanwhile, you had whole movements to take over Congress last year. And the FBI, as we came out, this new report is coming out over the weekend, now tells us the FBI had all the information beforehand. And the reason why they didn't have more of a presence out there and didn't call out the military is because there was some conflict inside the FBI with the information. Like some people inside the FBI did not believe that Trump supporters was going to do what they said they was going to do. They didn't think that these Trump-loving, conservative, pro-police people was going to get violent against the police. There was also a belief that they didn't want to create a quote-unquote Boston Massacre style event where you had military and militarized police facing against the public, and it would cause the police to do something that would lead into a bloody exchange. And that's the reason why basically there was a stand down posture, even though the FBI knew and had credible information. Hell, I knew. It was all over the internet. It was all over Facebook. Everybody knew. They was real quiet. They wasn't loud. They wasn't quiet about it. It was real loud about it. This is all out there. You can read this for yourself. The FBI knew about it. They had broke the code. Apparently, these Trump-loving, soon-to-be insurrectionists was using code words for weapons. They was talking about how they was going to bring weapons to it and how they felt that Trump was telling them to start a revolution. Like all of this. The FBI knew all of this. But inside the FBI, they was like, you know what? They don't really mean it. I think the word that I kept reading and hearing was aspirational. The FBI thought it was aspirational, that there was something they was going to talk about and not just do it. Meanwhile, last year, when Black Lives Matter went to D.C., them mofos showed up like Martians was invading D.C. Police everywhere, riot gear, ready for war. And Black Lives Matter was just simply walking through. That's it. They were simply walking through. But when the crazy Trump white folks was talking about bringing guns to Congress and how we going after Mitt Romney, and it was going after Nancy Pelosi, and some tell me he probably had white folks inside the FBI was like, you know what? They don't really mean it. It's aspirational. They're just joking, just blowing off some steam. The fuck? Memo to the FBI, leave NBA YoungBoy the F alone and get on your duty with these insurrectionists that's out here running through the hills on the weekend, talking about how you're going to get your country back and how you can bring down the electrical grid. Mofos out here plotting on the governor of Ohio and the governor of Michigan, and y'all really got time to be effing with NBA YoungBoy? People should be outraged about this. I don't give a damn about him. I care about these homegrown, largely white domestic terrorists. That's who I'm worried about. That's who the real problem is. That's who the real problem is. You know what I'm saying? That's who the real problem is. NBA YoungBoy ain't no problem to us. But Bob and Billy and Jimmy and all these other mofos running around here with the pickup trucks, yee-hoo-wee, and all this nonsense, playing war on the weekends, plotting on how you're going to kill governors of Michigan. These mofos was plotting to kidnap the governor of Ohio. These mofos was plotting to kill the governor of Ohio, and y'all really got time to go to music videos? Music videos? The set of a music video, what are we paying for? What are we paying for? Why is Joe Biden's FBI, and I know they were supposed to work independently, but still, why the fuck is Joe Biden's FBI running around here talking about some NBA YoungBoy? Go find Billy and them. Go find Bob and them. Any Billies and Bobs out there? No disrespect. I'm just give me some latitude on that. Y'all feel me on that? I don't give a damn about them these minor issues. So what? He had a weapon on the set of a music video. Big deal. Wow. Y'all really gonna stop the scourge of the influx of guns in the community. Man, if you don't stop, it's just funny how that works. I could show you some images of when Black Lives Matter was walking through. They was just walking through the mall in Washington. Man, the police was out there in full riot gear waiting. Man, you would have thought North Korea was invading America. But when they got information that these Trump supporters was plotting to kill Nancy Pelosi and kidnap Mitch Romney because they dared to caulk the truth about Trump. They plotting on how they're going to get weapons and explosives, which they found explosives, right? The FBI is like, you know what? This is aspirational. Aspirational? A mofo? This was real. They meant every word of it, and they still mean it. You think they're going to stop? They're not going to stop. So memo to the FBI, focus on the real menaces to our society. Focus on the real problems out here. It wasn't no damn rappers that blew up the Oklahoma federal building. That was homegrown, domestic, white terrorists. That's what it was. It wasn't Black Lives Matter. You ain't see no Black Lives Matter activists do no shit like that. You ain't never seen nothing like that. They might get in their feelings and break a window. You got people out here blowing up whole federal buildings, killing everybody. Whole federal buildings. Sitting up on Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House is number 3 in line, actually, if something happens to the president and vice president. With your feet up on the desk, stealing shit out of our office, and you out here running around here talking about some NBA YoungBoy. If y'all don't stop, what is going on? We must living in the last days of common sense for real. If you don't stop, get the hell out of here. But how have you hear me on that? 513-873-7134. So as I have now gotten more information about that whole situation, leave envy. Let that man go back and make some songs. That's all he doing is making songs. Let him make money for him and his family. I think he got a son or two. At least he got one boy, I know for sure, because I've seen him on stage with him before. Let him go back to do what the hell he doing, please. Got a photograph for you here. Hold on 1 second. If you're calling in, I'll get to you real second. And then we got somebody on the line coming straight to you. I want to put this image up on the screen real quick for people who don't know who NBA again. Never Broke Again. What a dope name. NBA Nathan. I like that. So it has nothing to do with the National Basketball Association. The acronym stands for Never Broke Again. I love it. You can have worth aspirations. That's NBA YoungBoy right there. I think that photograph was taken either when he was incarcerated or soon to be after incarcerated. I see a different look in his eyes. He ain't high all the damn time because he's been incarcerated. Typically, when you saw him in interviews, he was high out of his mind. Them drugs that have you doing all kind of dumb stuff, but he ain't nothing but an artist, man. That's it. He ain't no threat to society. I don't see it anyway. I don't see it. And again, this is real. I'm reciting to you like real information. There was a new expose that came out, and they did a deep dive into the information that the FBI had, and what they found out, and everybody should know this, is the FBI knew everything that we knew and even more. They knew that these people was talking super crazy and dangerous. They knew that they wanted to kidnap Mitt Romney and kidnap Nancy Pelosi. They knew they was talking about bringing explosives and guns into the situation. They knew that many of them felt as if Trump was talking to them directly. They knew all of this. But inside the FBI, they felt as if it was aspirational. They were just talking. Oh, these good conservative people that love the police, they would never do this. Huh? What country? Where you been at? Where you been at? But let me go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Nate. This is Deborah Nisbet, the
Good
voice
morning,
of
Deborah.
reason. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
How
Welcome.
you doing?
I'm doing well. As well as can be
Sorry,
expected.
Bengals fans, y'all lost. It is what it is. Y'all lost. I don't know. I had an opportunity actually to go down to Paul Brown Stadium this past Thursday. They did this event, which should have been free, but it was $5 per kid and your parents could pay. But they did. Apparently they do this every year, and they did a scavenger hunt, which really wasn't a scavenger. They give you a tour of the stadium, so they send you to all these little different areas around the stadium. And it's nice. They give out candy, and your kids can take pictures with the Bengal tiger and the Bengals cheerleaders. My 8-year-old was all for that. Like, oh, this thing, I think he's finally getting interested in girls. He's like, oh, wait a minute, Bengals cheerleaders. And but it was a good time had by a lot of kids. It wasn't a lot of kids down there because it was raining and drizzly that day. And I had on my Harry Potter scarf, and somebody said, "Oh, you're doing cosplay," and I was really like, I said yes, but for me, it was really just Thursday. Like that's how I roll, Ravenclaw all day. But yeah, I got a really good look at Paul Brown Stadium. Like they took you through all the nice little boxes and stuff, and I got to sit in one of the press box chairs, and it was nice. So I don't know. I've kind of been off the NFL because of the Kaepernick situation, still not really watching the games. Everybody's like, oh, the Bengals are winning. Oh, they lost. Like, I don't care. White people in Cincinnati don't care about the Bengals winning or losing as long as the coach is white. They're happy. We have an NFL team. They don't care anymore. So as long as we're keeping the white folks happy, let's just keep doing that. They got their white coach now. We'll be happy. Everybody go vote tomorrow, please. Dear God, go vote tomorrow. Our democracy is in such peril. Like our democratic republic is in peril. January 6th was crazy. Like, and I don't say how anybody didn't notice. Like, it was all over Twitter, all over social media. I remember flipping on the TV, literally with some popcorn. Like, this is going to be interesting to watch. And I didn't expect them to put a gallows on the Capitol steps and go looking for Mike Pence. Like, I didn't expect it to get that deep, but I knew it was going to be bigger than just, we're not going to take it. Like, I knew it was going to be bigger than that. Like, and it was huge. I mean, you had the sad part is the Republicans who were inside the Capitol, like that Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was actually tweeting out the location of Nancy Pelosi. Like, these people meant business. They were not joking. They wanted to take over the government. And I mean, they do have the right to do so according to the Constitution. Like, that's how we were founded. Like, we took over another government and we pushed them out. And like, now we have this one. But if you're not successful, then you're forever branded a traitor. Like, that was a successful rebellion and theirs was not. And so they committed treason against the current government. And they didn't send the police after them, just like they didn't send the police after kids. Remember Columbine? They were like, we can't go after these white kids, like, with the police. Like, more kids died on the day of the Columbine shooting than should have because the police just didn't understand how to go into a white school and shoot white kids with guns. I don't think they would have had that problem with a black school. And to this day, Columbine High School still doesn't have like metal detectors or anything. Like they don't have,
Really? I didn't know that.
they've never had them. And well, like I remember when black kids had to like have clear like backpacks, metal detectors and stuff. Columbine still has never had them, never will. So we really they're not just taking over like violently. I thought they were going to go after black people on January 6th. Like I was like worried that, remember how they did that whole rally around 275 where they had all the trucks and stuff. People had all the 275.
You're breaking up, Deborah.
Oh, sorry. Remember when they had all the trucks going around 275?
I do.
Right, and they had all the Trump signs. Like, I thought those people were going to be crazy enough to just start going in black neighborhoods and just start hurting people or shooting people or whatever. I never expected them to roll up to Columbus and go after the white politicians, but that's what happened. Like, I didn't expect, so I was worried about us. But they were like, no, we're bypassing black people. We're going straight to the source. We're going right to Mike Pence, and if we can hang him on the front Capitol lawn, then that's what we're going to do. Like, that was horrible. Horrible. It's a horrible look. And they got a lot closer than we thought. Remember the black security guard who like led them in the wrong direction away from the Capitol chamber?
Mm-hmm.
Like this, like he saved democracy that day. It's always up to black men. It always comes down to y'all. I'm a black woman, we do good, but when it comes down to it, when it comes to organizing, it's us. When it comes down to like, we got to get, it's like Rosewood. Remember when you had the one black man, he saved all the black people? Like, it's down to y'all. So you're saving democracy, Nate. Doing an excellent job. I mean, even just talking about all these little issues every day. Like, you're supporting a grand oral tradition of black people, of getting the word out, just saying, hey, talk about it. Hey, call in, talk about it. You're doing a great job. You deserve all the marbles, all the kudos. Really proud of you. Like, if I had like a brother or a cousin, you would be it. Like you're doing a great job. Really proud of you.
Thank you.
Just keep people talking about it. Climate change is not boring. Anything that's going to affect our lives on a grand scale is already affecting so many black communities across the globe, communities of color across the globe. Like there are whole communities, whole like smaller nations that we don't think of as nations, but they're already in danger. They're going to lose their islands. They're going to lose their land to climate change. The glaciers are melting. Like, it's just, people are like, we better go see them while we can, because glacier is going to be a word like dodo bird. They're going to be extinct, and the sea levels are going to rise, and we're going to have trouble because of it. I don't know. Get yourself vaccinated. Go vote, people. Keep supporting Nathan Ivey because he's doing a great thing for our community. And that's my sermon for today. See you out here on the internet.
All right. That's Deborah Nesbitt. Appreciate the call. Appreciate it. We always leveling up with all the calls from the choppers. So, yeah, I mean, FBI, leave NBA Youngboy alone. Let him go make his money so he don't be broke again. Y'all trying to break him. And again, the name of the FBI operation, it was a minor sort of like, I forget the word that I read or saw. It was minor. It was like some minor, I won't say it's a technicality, but it's like a minor little weapons possession. And I'm not even sure that's a real violation because he's like an artist and he was maybe had a prop in the music video. And say what you will about using guns in videos. That's the artist. It doesn't really bother me. It don't bother me because that's not making people get guns per se. What's making people get guns is what's happening in their household, which on Saturday, I thought that Dr. Odell Owens did a great job kind of speaking to these different issues. I did talk about my one disagreement with him on what he said, but he don't give a damn what I think. This is what I do. So I shared that. But let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Nathan. It's Nicole. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Nicole. Well as can be expected. Good morning.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Wonderful night. A night to remember, I would say. Everyone looked so beautiful, and it was a lot of people. Like, my legs would have been trembling going up that stage, looking out amongst almost 1,000 people. And it was well deserved. Like I said before, it isn't just what you've done for the Cincinnati NAACP and helping us get the word and information out through the Truth to Power podcast, but just all the podcasts that you do, your show, the originator of all of this, and just being the individual that you are, really has captivated our audience. I mean, you've created a community. We are the Choppers, proud of it. And it's just something to be said for that. And then I just know that there's so many people, definitely the people that you've created a platform for, that you inspired, that people, I would have never thought that I would be, because I'm so shy, I would be doing a podcast. Like, that wasn't in my, future or even thoughts. And so to do it at this level and to gain confidence and to just, it's because of you. And I would have to say the same for many of the people that have done the podcast with you, doing the podcast with you, that you make them feel like you can. And it's incredible. But I just wanted to say that along with voting, because issue 3, I was hoping you was going to be able to have this one gentleman on, Attorney Paul DeMarco, but I want to get out to the audience. I did take notes and I did some recordings, but it was for, he had did a presentation at the NAACP general meeting. I have to ask to see if I can even share that, because that was at our meeting. But I did take notes, and I just wanted to get to the people, if you haven't voted yet, just to understand the Cincinnati NAACP has endorsed and saying no on issue 3. And what was explained was that, issue 3 would bog down city council. Basically, one of the provisions required council to vet legal proceedings, which right now is handled through the legal department. And this is about 60,000 proceedings that will now be at the foot of city council to go through and comb through. So what it would create is a bureaucratic bottleneck and making them inefficient, which is the whole thing, to create confusion, to create, a situation where city council is ineffective. Like right now, the goal of the opposite side is to be obstructionist and to make things more difficult for whatever they consider the majority who's in office right now. All right. So keeping that in mind, and if you understand the person who wrote this, the author of this bill, he shouldn't even be a lawmaker to begin with, because some of the laws he's created has been horrific, and even his own party half the time doesn't even support. But then it also reduces salaries 30%. So, an 80-hour work week for the most part that the council does. They always say part-time, but it's really, that's how much work is put in. And then now if this provision was to pass, what this 60,000 in legal proceedings that they would have to oversee now, you're telling them to do more with less. And just like we said before in some of the forums where we learned at least 2 candidates toward the end basically say, hey, I don't need this. I got a good job on the side. Like city council for some people have become just a part-time gig where, I could come and, create a little ruckus and stuff, but I still get my main job here on the side. Everyone don't have that luxury. And then it makes it harder for grassroots candidates, to maintain that. If you have a family, you got to worry about everything else everybody else worried about, and then they want to put this excessive load of work on you. So it just, is really kind of a way, to weed out, people that often I think would be for the people out of the running. Lastly, there's a recall measure. Like you'll look at this and just on the surface, like, oh yeah, cut their salaries. Oh yeah, recall the mayor. On the surface, but there are 4 ways. It would be 4 ways to recall the mayor. And one would be the California style recall that we just seen recently, where it only takes about, 15% of the voters, and the mayor can lose by, one vote by an alternate of whoever. It can be a whole list of crazy, and that person, if they just win by one vote, can take that seat just like that. Let me see here. The other one is the governor can file a complaint with common pleas, which if you have a conservative governor, you see how they're all working as it relates to the redistricting.
Mm-hmm.
Even the state secretary, he literally said that this is ridiculous, but he still went and vote with his party. Like they just, follow suit and fall in line. They can also, let me see, similar to, so the California style, 15% of voters can file a complaint. And then the last one, which is like the most ridiculous, is kind of like up in the air. When they ask, they basically said it's left up to city council, whatever they want to do. And so whoever gets in, say you have a majority, extremist type of party that's leading right now, it's just kind of up in the air, however they want to handle it. And that's always dangerous. Like, how do you have no provision explaining what and how? And so your vote can be nullified very, very easy under these recall measures. And it's just ridiculous. So it's an absolute no on issue 3. I hope, everyone that hear my voice, you take heed to that. Tell your friends, tell your families. This has nothing to do with corruption at all. It has more to do with confusion and really creating chaos at City Hall and making it easy for your vote to be nullified, whoever you supported in running for office. So that's pretty much from my notes. But the gentleman that spoke on this, he could have said it more eloquent and better than that. But I hope
we still got time, TNT. I'll reach out to you. Talking about Paul DeMarco. I'll reach out to him and see if I can get him to if not the show, then maybe we can record something today and I can put it out.
Yes, that would be awesome because people really need to know. We were, sad that he came to us. He's kind of late in the game trying to get the endorsement of the NAACP. But once we heard everything he said involved, it was like people have to hear about this. Like this got to. So I was like, immediately, can you go on Nathan? Can you go on Lincoln? People got to hear about this. So hopefully more people will hear about it. Hopefully people won't just look at some of these measures and be like, oh, yeah, yeah, go ahead and recall. Yeah, we need to cut this out. It's more to it than that. So, but again, congratulations and have a wonderful week, wonderful day, and enjoy yourself. And Viva La Chapas. Chapas support Chapas.
Appreciate that's TNT right there. I appreciate her. And I say I appreciate the NAACP. Let me show it to you one more time before we roll out of here. We got a break, so I'm probably going to be with you up until about 10. Look at that. It's so dope. It's heavy, too. This was made by Roadshow Graphics. So if you need awards or anything of this nature, make sure you hit them up. Black owned. Absolutely. Speaking of Black owned, I wasn't there, obviously, but I know Black owned had their 10th anniversary party done at Paul Brown Stadium. Shout out to Means Camera. I do not know that brother at all. I don't know nobody associated with him, but anything that we doing that's building us up, you already know. I support you from afar. I saw some of the stuff on Instagram. It looked like they had a good time. I've been in that ballroom for a lot of parties. It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. It's a nice little spot to have a venue. So look, they had a good time, and they deserve it for their success. 513-873-7134. That's my cue. Nathan Ivey with you, live, local, and vocal. Let me take another break again. I know it's going to be like that today and tomorrow because we got a lot of political ads that we're running. Again, that's a necessary part of what we do here. And I'm sure you're hearing the same thing on terrestrial radio, and you're probably getting the same thing on your television. You're probably getting the same thing on digital spaces as well. That's just where we are right now. So sit tight, everybody. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Good morning, Choppers. I'm Scotty Johnson, candidate for Cincinnati City Council. Unfortunately, injustice remains in the city of Cincinnati. A remedy for injustice is courageous, bold leadership. I plan on bringing that type of leadership to City Hall. It's time to stop talking about it and to start doing something about it. Disparities have been in Cincinnati far too long. I'm the candidate to address those disparities. Vote Scotty Johnson for Cincinnati City Council.
Paid for by friends of Scotty Johnson.
Cincinnati has challenging days ahead, but we've got Councilman Steve Gooden in our corner. An expert litigator, legislator, and all-around problem solver, Gooden honed his courtroom skill as an Army JAG officer, then came home to advocate for us.
We have a city that is in crisis. Our city is facing monstrous challenges in terms of its economic recovery and in terms of its financial stability. I'm running for city council because I care about the city that we're leaving behind for my 3 children.
Steve Gooden worked shoulder to shoulder with labor unions to save our city from bankruptcy, rescued Cincy's biggest residential development from overzealous activists, and is introducing campaign finance and lobbying reforms to fight corruption in City Hall.
We have to put our house in order in terms of ethics. We've had 3 city council members who have been arrested and charged with felonies in federal court in the last year alone. There is systemic corruption that has to be rooted out and addressed, and I have a very detailed plan to do so.
Steve Gooden always stands with us and always gets results. That's why we can trust Gooden to help Cincinnati small businesses cut red tape and create thousands of union jobs in our city. For the challenges ahead and the bright future beyond, choose the leader who always advocates for us.
I'm Steve Gooden, and I'm asking for your vote.
I'm former Mayor Dwight Tillery asking you to vote for my friend, Michelle Dillingham, who is a Democrat running for Cincinnati City Council. The black population in our city has declined, pushing black homeowners out while speculators purchase their houses for pennies on the dollar. Black people are being foreclosed on because of rigged housing and economic systems.
Michelle Dillingham will fight for you. This is Victoria Strawn. You know me, Sister V. City Council prefers investing in a soccer stadium and gentrifying our historic neighborhoods. Malcolm X said that if you don't own land, you're nothing but a squatter.
Come on, Michelle, talk to the people.
City Council is being sued for discriminatory tax abatement programs that unfairly enrich wealthy, white neighborhoods. I know because I've been fighting for reform for years. Isn't it time to elect a candidate who will stand up for the people over special interests? Vote for me, Michelle Dillingham, Democrat for Cincinnati City Council.
Paid for by Dillingham for Council Committee.
Good morning, Choppers. I'm Scotty Johnson, candidate for Cincinnati City Council. Unfortunately, injustice remains in the city of Cincinnati. A remedy for injustice is courageous, bold leadership. I plan on bringing that type of leadership to City Hall. It's time to stop talking about it and to start doing something about it. Disparities have been in Cincinnati far too long. I'm the candidate to address those disparities. Vote Scotty Johnson for Cincinnati City Council.
Paid for by friends of Scotty Johnson.
Cincinnati has challenging days ahead, but we've got Councilman Steve Gooden in our corner. An expert litigator, legislator, and all-around problem solver, Gooden honed his courtroom skill as an Army JAG officer, then came home to advocate for us.
We have a city that is in crisis. Our city is facing monstrous challenges in terms of its economic recovery and in terms of its financial stability. I'm running for city council because I care about the city that we're leaving behind for my 3 children.
Steve Gooden worked shoulder to shoulder with labor unions to save our city from bankruptcy, rescued Cincy's biggest residential development from overzealous activists, and is introducing campaign finance and lobbying reforms to fight corruption in City Hall.
We have to put our house in order in terms of ethics. We've had 3 city council members who have been arrested and charged with felonies in federal court in the last year alone. There is systemic corruption that has to be rooted out and addressed, and I have a very detailed plan to do so.
Steve Gooden always stands with us and always gets results. That's why we can trust Gooden to help Cincinnati small businesses cut red tape and create thousands of union jobs in our city. For the challenges ahead and the bright future beyond, choose the leader who always advocates for us.
I'm Steve Gooden, and I'm asking for your vote.
Just a few minutes before 10 a.m. this morning. Of course, the show's going to stop at 10 a.m. So you got me for about 6 minutes. We did have a call. If you were trying to call in, I was in a break and wasn't able to answer your call at that particular moment. Call back in. I'll definitely get you in. If you missed it, I had a great time on Saturday at the NAACP Freedom Fund Awards dinner. It was a lot of fun. I'm planning to make sure that CDM has a table next week. I feel confident to tell you that we're going to do that. And I want you to experience it next week. If you've never gone to the event, it's a lot of fun. You get a chance to dress up and rub elbows with a who's who of Cincinnati. And so I'm just making that commitment right here on the air, right here, right now. We definitely want to do that. Plus, it supports the NAACP, and they do great work. But I was awarded the Inspiring Innovator Award. And then, as you see on the left, I got a special recognition from various lawmakers from the state of Ohio for what we're doing with CDM and the award and the Nathan Ivey Show. So it was a good night. I'll say it again. And if you missed it, I kind of walk you through it, walk you through the experiences, what it was like from my perspective. And it was a lot of fun. I can't even lie to you. It was a lot of fun. It was a feeling that, I wish I could draw out. I wish I could be in that moment right now. It's a great, great feeling. Plus, I had my wife with me, the wifey, my partner in all things. She is the first producer of the show. She's a producer of the show. I'm telling you, that woman has stopped me from making so many mistakes and also encouraged me and given me so many great ideas over the years. I'll say it again. When you got the love and support of an intelligent Black woman, you can't lose. You just can't lose. So she was there. A very close personal friend of ours was there as well. So we had a good time. And we had the livest table. I don't care what nobody say. Our table was the livest. And we met some good people at the table, as we typically do. And got a chance to see the other awardees who were there as well. Some of which I know, some of which I wasn't familiar with. But a couple of them I know. And I know for a fact that they are good people that do great work. So that was the other part of it that, like, damn, I'm being awarded on the level of these kind of people. Like, I'm not worthy, but I'll accept it. I'll accept it nonetheless. And I'll say it again. Well, I'll save the motto for the end. We got a call on the line. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Nate, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, Glenn? Good morning to you.
Yeah, man. Hey, I wanted to call in and say congratulations. I didn't have as great a weekend as you had, but I did get a chance, man, to relax this weekend. Hung around with some friends, played golf with the fellas yesterday morning, man, and woke up and didn't feel sore or anything, man. Didn't feel beat down after 18, so I'm feeling pretty good myself. But I wanted to congratulate you, man, on the award. And by the way, that's a nice award that Iris and Jesse and Rochelle made for you. I mean, that's really nice. Yeah, but I wanted to say it because I'm kind of reminiscing. But Nate, I remember when you first came on the scene. And I appreciate when you talk about, I'm a radio OG. I've been calling shows and listening to shows and hosted a couple, throughout these years. But I remember when you burst on the scene, Nate, you were different. And what made you different is that, again, I've listened to radio for a long time. And I listened to a lot of old heads. Nobody had the flow that you had. The closest we had was maybe back when J Love and Nate were together, and they were bringing new stuff to the table. But I knew back then, I think everybody knew back then, like, there's something different. So I always appreciate it. We haven't always agreed, but I've always respected your opinion. And if anything, you've taught me to respect other people's opinions when they kind of making sense. But when they doing some dumb ish, as you like to say, you even brought ish to the table. That's when, I got to say, hey, I adamantly disagree with that particular comment, and we can still be friends and agree to disagree. But the chop shop has exploded. I wish I was there. I had friends that were there, and when you were walking up, I would have been like, get to the chopper. Somebody should have yelled out in the crowd. That would have been sweet as hell. Just random. We just throw it out there, get to the chopper. I know it's a formal event, but that's how we would do it as a chopper. So, but yeah, I just wanted to say congratulations, man, and it's well deserved, Nate.
Thank you so much.
From the bottom of my heart, man. Well deserved it. Hey, one quick thing, you need to send me that the link, brother.
Oh, you got it. I'll send it to you today, and then we can talk about it.
Okay.
All right, take it easy.
Okay, and we need to do that. I want to talk to you. We'll get a chance.
Let's do it. Let's get it popping.
Okay. Hey, but again, congratulations, brother. Well deserved.
Yeah, most def. Link he's talking about is Restream. Like I said, if you like these overlays and the way I do with the live stream, it's called Restream. You can get it for yourself. But I know how to hack Restream. I know how to make it do things that it's not that they didn't originally intended for it to do, and bring some other, you know, innovations to the game. And I'll share with you freely to anyone in the Chop Shop. But if you want to get this for your live stream, then let me know via direct message. I can send you a link, and they'll give you about $10 off. I'll get a little something. You'll get a discount. Everybody's happy. And then afterward, if you're like, well, Nate, how do you do this? How you do that? I'll share it with you. I'll share it with you freely. I want you to look good. I want to help the creator class. So just let me know. So that's what he was referring to. But I remember when I burst on the scene, if you want to call it that, I remember being super nervous about it because I'm thinking, who am I? Why would anybody want to listen to me? But my thing is, I like to blaze my own trail. So I just wanted to be original. And to this day, one of the reasons why I don't really listen to a lot of people locally. It's every once in a while I might pop in Lincoln Stream. Every once in a while, when I worked in corporate radio, I didn't listen to other people. And the reason why is because I don't want to be infected by what other people, how they think or what they say. I want to be original. I want to do me. And that's just how I've always been. That's how I'm always going to be. I'm from the hip hop generation, and that damn Generation X bull crap. I'm from the hip hop generation, so that was an expansion of my hip hop creativity, But I just was doing it in talk radio. You know what I'm saying? But to me, it was no different. It was a form of creativity, and I'm still doing it. The flows and picking the locks to your brains and coming through blasting, all that kind of stuff. I mean, that was just me just taking from hip hop and then making it my own. But I got informed by different people. Nobody here locally other than the late great Carmine Guzman. I mean, that brother was that man, shall I say, was just incredible. So I took some things from that, but I just want to do me. And even now, I just do me. I don't really look at anybody else because I'm not watching anybody else. I have no idea what they're doing because I never do. Every once in a while, I might be in a car, boom, and I'll turn something on just because it's getting me from A to B. But I don't do it for a reason because I don't want to do it. I don't want to hear it. When I come up with an idea or a thought, it's coming directly from me, right? Maybe somebody else says something similar, but that's just by coincidence, typically. That's just my style. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Nathan. This is Tanika. How are you?
Hey, Tanika. Good morning. How are you doing? Long time no hear.
I know it's been a while, but this is a befitting opportunity just to call in, just to just tell you how proud I am of you. I've been listening to you. I've been a chopper from the beginning, but even before I became a chopper, I listened to you on the regular radio. But just wanted to tell you how proud I am of you. I just want to just thank you for your support, always supporting us choppers, how you supported my daughter with her first book. She done wrote a second book, and we'll talk about that later.
But we gotta talk.
I just really wanted, homegirl done wrote 2 books at the age of 10. So,
you got a genius on your hand. That's a beautiful thing.
I know. Yeah, and we moved to Orlando. So we're living in Orlando. We've been here a couple months, and she's making straight A's. She's in advanced classes, which I'm not surprised at all,
Beautiful.
But yeah, so I'm so excited. And of course, I'm still connected, still listening. I just want to give you my condolences regarding your mom. I'm just praying for you and your family. But I really just wanted to take this opportunity just to give you your flowers and just tell you how so proud I am. I mean, I feel like you're my big brother, so I'm just so proud of you and for everything you're doing. And like I said before, I can't wait to hear you on Rolling. I mean, I see so many great things that are coming your way, and you deserve every single one of them. So I just want to give you that shout out. And hello to everybody else, all the choppers, and God bless you all.
Right. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's Tanika right there. She got a genius in her hand. Beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Black excellence. I love it. She mentioned Rolling. You never know. Never know. Never know. But and so that's just my deal. And then, just going, so we talking about this journey, but I'm gonna get off because I know you got other things you want to do. I'm not gonna hold you too much longer. But what motivates me is it's an internal fire. It's an internal fire. I mean, there's a fire, there's a blaze, You know, I want to reach my potential. That's what pushes me. I want to reach my potential. And now I want to help other creators do the same thing in any way I can. And like I said in that video with the NAACP, you know, it has been a really unexpected joy. I didn't know I was going to get so much joy out of that. And it's another fire just to help other creative folks take their stuff to the next level. And then maybe they take it on their own to another level. If I can be a little part of that, cool. I ain't asking for nothing other than what I'm asking for, but that's it. So that's a beautiful thing. So working with all the people we working with, man, it's just it's a real, real, real joy. And I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going on there. And I remember, I tell you though, that if I had to be honest with you, one thing that motivates me is I remember when I left corporate radio, I was super pissed about this, but in a good way. Because typically I take a situation and I flip it and I try to make it where how do I build? You know, I take the pain and I just get stronger with it. Like I look at myself honestly, like, well, where am I lacking? How do I get stronger? But I'll never forget this. Shit burnt me up for a long time. But I remember, you know, when I left working for a local radio station, they put a press release out, and they were trying to explain the reason why they was making the changes and letting myself and other people go. And there was a quote from the then general manager, white dude named Mitch, very appropriately named, and it was something to the fact of, well, it just wasn't making money. And I'm like, what the hell? What you mean ain't making the money? I took that personally. Like, wait a minute, you saying working with me won't make money for you? And nothing could have been further from the truth. I mean, I've told you what the real story was. And I'll just say 4 years or more removed, how is it that I'm able to do this by myself with no sales experience as one man that could? You got a whole sales room. There's another backstory to that, which I've shared with you primarily with my patrons. You know the backstory as well. But those are the kind of things that I remember I take, and it just fuels me. I'm like, oh, really? Okay. Well, let's see. And I'm still not there yet. I'm still not there. You know, my goal was not awards. My goal is something else. And that light is still way down in a tunnel, but we're getting closer to it every single day. And when we get there, I'll let you know. You know, I'm not shy about it. But I want to say I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody. Thank you for the well wishes and and the condolences about my mother. It was a week ago today. I had to rush off the show early. At this point last week, I was nearly at the hospital, and you know, she was taking her last breath. So it was very emotional. I got very emotional this morning before the show started, just kind of thinking about her. But life is for the living, and hopefully she's in a better place. And I like to believe there is an afterlife, and if so, she can see all of this. But again, we had a great relationship. My mother and I had a very adult child parent relationship. She knew exactly how I felt about her on all things, and I knew exactly how she felt about me on all things. So I have no regrets. And again, shout out to the NAACP and all the good people, and Cedric Denson and Iris Rowley for all the well wishes, all the love. I appreciate it. And we'll leave it with our motto: winners focus on winning, and losers focus on winners. So stay focused and stay winning, and we'll talk real soon. Until tomorrow morning, bright and early at 7 a.m., I'm Nathan Ivey, and I'm out.
Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand. I'm back again like flu season. I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving. Don't give a I don't care. Did the for my lonesome. No wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run. All I really want is my share. Get on my God, on my totem is nothing. In the discussion, got them feelings I throw all my pain on percussion. It's disgusting. I hear them bragging about that they did, and it do not move me, not in the least. They ain't been dropping no seeds in the soil, but swear that you all must spot at the feast. I've been on go mode, show mode, showboat, rowboat. boat wave ride. Cool shorty, too naughty, pool party, wet for the face ride. Annie up, penny down, hand me down, thrift store, old drip. New money, too funny, old shorty, talk about old. I'm on they now, can't get a pass now. I'm a cash cow, keeping it brash now. It's trash now, I'm a spaz out. I've been killing my lows and living on highs. You see in the skies the proof. You could just see in my eyes that there is no lies. I cannot disguise the truth. I've been ducked off, getting in my new merch, color duck sauce on the new couch with my chucks on. Get the on with that hate. I'm big cool on the small chat, cause I know now that I'm all that. Got a hawk guy on the ball cat, get the out of my face.
Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving all my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand.